For the first time ever, the Kean University football team will play its season finale against New Jersey Athletic Conference rival Montclair State. It's the Cougars and Redhawks getting together here at Alumni Stadium right here on KUTV. Good afternoon. I'm Greg Tartaglia, joined alongside by Corey Laszlocky. And Corey, Kean coming in at 6-3, looking to finish out the regular season. Montclair State 8-1. But we don't look at the records so much. Before the game, we were looking at the stats in the NJAC standings. Kean coming in, the number one offense. The Redhawks coming in with the number one defense. It's the immovable object meets the unstoppable force today.
Absolutely, and what it's really going to come down to today, what I think, it's going to come down to execution. Both these teams know each other very well. In fact, Coach Dan Garrett was a defensive coordinator for the Redhawks for several years. Several other members of the Kean University staff also from Montclair State. So it's going to be, again, what I say, it comes down to execution.
And Coach Garrett knows this team well. He also said this is one of the most difficult days he has to play, and not just because of the record. On all the 33 meetings before this, Montclair State has won 28 of them. However, in the last 4, the home team has won each time. They split 2-2. We'll see who gets the upper hand today when we come back with a kickoff and the coin flip before the kickoff right here on KUTV.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand.
Earthshare is the workplace giving program bringing the leading environmental groups together. Support Earthshare, support them all. To learn more, please visit our website.
This kid died from using illegal drugs. And this kid died from using prescription painkillers. Now you tell me, which one's more dead?
There's an ancient Native American proverb: we do not inherit this earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Simple acts can have a profound influence on the planet that we leave for future generations. Take this styrofoam cup. You might see it as your morning cup of coffee. I see it as something that will take over 900 years to biodegrade. I'm Daniela Shevitz, professor of biology at Kean University, teaching students that everyone is responsible for protecting this fragile ecosystem, and just how easy it is to do it.
The Kean Cougars getting ready to kick off. The Montclair State Redhawks winning the coin flip, and they have elected to receive. The Redhawks getting ready with a record of 8-1 overall and 7-1 in NJAC play. However, the NJAC championship has already been decided. SUNY Cortland ran the table, 9-0 in the league. They'll play one more non-league game against rival Ithaca, and they're the Kean Cougars, 5-3 in conference. They can leap over college at Brockport with a victory today and a Brockport loss. Of course, Kean has already lost to Brockport this year, but they are getting ready to try and win their second consecutive home game, victorious over William Patterson last week. Now, last year between these two teams, Montclair State won at 27-12 up at Montclair behind a pretty strong running game and a pretty strong run defense. If we take away the sacks in that game, which would have meant Kean only had 3 yards rushing, 39 rush yards proper for the Cougars in last year's matchup, 261 for Montclair State. Corey, that's something that Kean is really going to want to have to reverse today.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to put a lot of guys up in the box on defense, and on offense, they're going to have to mix it up, maybe go against some tendencies that they've gone in the past. I mean, a pretty steady diet of Jared Chun is going to help that out a lot.
And getting set to tee things up is the junior Rick Jager. But before we get started, we do want to remind you that last home game of the regular season, it is senior day. All 12 seniors for the Cougars honored before the game. The linebacker Matt Ali, Markel Ginyard the safety, James Felton and Darrell Dukes the receivers. George Williams, the senior defensive back. Maurice Ginyard, the senior linebacker. Tonio Lamaju along that defensive line, big number 52. We'll see him today. Jake Pugh, the linebacker. Chris Gould, Andrew DePoe, and Matt Dempsey, the lineman, and Rodney Holiday, the defensive lineman. All the seniors honored today for the Cougars, who are underway, and it will be on the return. Chris DeAndrea for the Redhawks, getting all the way out to the 30, the 35 before he's finally gang tackled. The return of over 30 yards for DeAndrea, the sophomore, who is a backup running back. We'll give you the starters for the Montclair State Redhawk offense now. Their quarterback is a freshman named Tom. We'll see that on the other side of the ball, but Tom Fisher will work under center for the Redhawks. The line in front of him, number 68, Brian Appleton, 54, Joe Gelpy, and 71, Jerry Goldman, all juniors. The two seniors, right guard Michael Goff, number 70, Jason Wambaugh, the right tackle. The starting tight end is Jeremy Mercer. The receivers, Jeff Papson and Byron Lewin. And in the backfield with Fisher, number 10, Jason Scott is the fullback, and number 24, Jeff Bliss, the sophomore tailback, needs just 65 yards to reach 1,000 for the season. And on first down, it will be a handoff to the fullback. Straight ahead, Jason Scott off the right side, and Scott runs for a first down. Line of scrimmage to start was his own 38-yard line, but right away, Scott gets only his fourth carry of the year.
Well, we talked about breaking tendencies. Again, both teams know each other pretty well, and it's going to be little plays like that, I think, on both sides of the ball that are going to be worth watching today.
They're into Kean territory all the way down to the 46, thanks to that man right there. It is a pickup of 16 yards on the first offensive play for Scott, who's one of the senior captains for the Redhawks. Now they face first down and 10, and they hand it off to Bliss. And number 12, Darrell Jackson, wearing a different number today. We'll tell you more on that in a minute, as well as give you the Cougars starting defense. But first, we have to check some laundry on the field. As Bliss, the sophomore, coming in with 935 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns. Fourth leading rusher in the NJAC, and it's offside on the Cougars. Something when we talked to head coach Dan Garrett before the game, he said his team needed to cut back on if they want to beat this Montclair State team for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, on the season, with that penalty, I mean, they have over 750 yards in penalties. And that's just the mental mistakes have really hurt this team this year in pivotal times.
The Montclair State defense in the middle of that line is number 12, Darrell Jackson, who we may see used in other situations, which is the reason he's wearing number 12 today. 52, Tonio Lamaju, one of the seniors on one end, and Darnell Butler, the junior, on the other. The linebackers, Pugh, the senior, on the outside, as well as Matt Ali on the other outside. Middle linebackers are Victor Dorigo, the sophomore, and Jordan Cagle, the fellow sophomore. We'll give you the D-backs in a minute. First and 5 from the 40, check that 39-yard line, and the handoff again goes to Bliss. And it looks like Montclair State going to be content to keep it on the ground for the first few plays here, and another flag already. We'll take a look at exactly what it is, and from the shouting I hear below, it sounds like maybe another offsides. Is someone not paying attention to the line of scrimmage? Well, it's an automatic first down for Montclair State. 2 consecutive offside penalties on the Cougars, and Coach Garrett not happy.
Yeah, they can't be too happy. They're off, not off to a good start with the long kickoff return and now 2 straight penalties.
The rest of the defensive starters for Kean, defensive backfield led by the senior Markel Ginyard, the corners Andre Dozier and Chris Loud, a pair of sophomores, and the free safety number 15, Jamal Williams, NJAC Rookie of the Week a couple weeks ago. Bliss, nowhere to go. Good job by Jake Pugh of getting in there, but give credit to Matt Ali as well for pushing the lineman backwards and stacking that play up.
I mean, if you take away those 2 penalties on those 2 previous runs by Bliss, the Kean defense did a pretty good job of bottling him up.
On that play, Bliss loses 4 yards. It'll be second down and 14 for the Redhawks from the Kean 43. And Bliss, well, he is a chugger, averaging only 3.9 yards per carry. In fact, the last game out Montclair State played against Rowan, he had 27 carries for 51 yards. But now from the shotgun goes Fisher, and it's a handoff Bliss. They try to get him a ball in a different way, and he averages a lot more on that carry. Ginyard eventually finishes him off after Dorigo made the first hit, and Bliss will pick up 8 yards.
Yeah, they did a good job there of giving him a little bit of room to see where the holes were. And why he said he's a chugger, he had a good burst of speed there to get into the open.
Early first quarter action, still no score. Montclair State is on their opening drive, and they face a 3rd down and 6 from the Kean 35-yard line, 12-17 remaining in the first. 3 wide receivers out to the near side. That will be Papson, Lewin, and Papson going in motion. Omar Sevilla is the 3rd receiver out in the pattern. And Fisher is back to pass, being pursued. Lobs it downfield, intercepted by Markel Ginyard. Runs out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. He was looking for Byron Lewin, the freshman, and Fisher threw it up for grabs. Ginyard there to make a pick in his final home game as a senior.
That's what you want to do. You want to create pressure, force the quarterback to throw against his body.
And the pressure from Butler, and it looked like Jackson up the middle. And really just lobbed it up there. Did he get both feet in, I guess is the question we're wondering.
It looks like from this angle, it looks like he did.
But again, no instant replay in Division III. So Kean will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 22. The freshman quarterback Tom D'Ambrisi completes to the senior receiver Darrell Dukes on the very first play. D'Ambrisi, as we said, freshman quarterback, a 4-time NJAC Offensive Rookie of the Week. You know who else? Tom Fisher has won that award 3 times. Combined, the 2 freshman quarterbacks starting in this game have won all but 3 NJAC Offensive Player of the Week awards. But
yeah,
Dukes makes that reception for 9 yards.
They'll be battling for Rookie of the Year honors, I'm sure.
On 2nd down, the backs in the backfield. Sean Atkins, the fullback in motion. Jared Chun is the tailback, but this pass is completed to Dukes out to the left side, and he will pick up 10 more yards. The senior leading receiver, all-time leading reception man in Kean history, and that will move the chains for a 1st down. 2 catches for 19 yards already. And in fact, with those 2 receptions, I believe Darrell has broken his own record. Now check that. He needs 53. He's now at 51. He needs 2 more to tie his own single-season record for receptions for the Cougars, but they're off to a good start. And on 1st down from their own 40-yard line, a throw to Dukes again, complete up to the Montclair State 41. And it's an 18-yard gain and possibly more as there's a flag down in the backfield.
I think we might have a late hit on the quarterback. No, it looks like it's going to go against Kean here.
And that's unfortunate. Darrell Dukes doing an excellent job on these first couple passes. And there you see the reception, but it won't. Will it count? D'Ambrisi's pointing towards the Redhawks, and the Redhawks pointing right back the other way. The ref knows, and it's an illegal downfield, so wipe out the 18-yard gain to Dukes. That'll bring up 1st and long for the Cougars.
That's a shame because that was a really well-executed play. It was a nice job of D'Ambrisi rolling out. And Dukes has did a fantastic job there stretching out for that catch.
Back them up to 1st and 15 from their own 36. We'll give you quickly the Montclair Redhawks defense. Brian Drew, the senior end, will be flanked on the other end by Sean Bach, who's moved into the starting lineup, a junior from Upper Saddle River. Nick Giangrandi, Chris Merkel are the defensive tackles. The middle linebacker, Cornell Hunt, Brian Tweer, 51, Dan Kransky, 49 on the outsides. D'Ambrisi's back to throw on 1st and 15. Throws again for Dukes. And somebody better cover that man. Number 21, Sal McGrady was there. He starts in the Redhawk backfield along with Dominique Dixon, and the safeties 15 and 14, Jesse Schenker, Mario McLean. But Dukes. If you don't count the penalty, that's his 4th straight reception. 3 of them have counted.
He did a nice job there of coming back to D'Ambrisi. Look, he faked like he was going to continue with the route and then cut it off and turned around, came right back to D'Ambrisi.
Dukes with a pickup of 12. So 2nd down and 3, Kean from their own 48. And there's the first handoff of the day to Jared Chun, who picked up the school's all-time single-season rushing record last week. Came into the game with 1,316 yards. Broke the record set by Tidy Corbett back in 1998.
I think we're going to see a lot of D'Ambrisi rolling out of the pocket. I mean, when you look at the matchup of the 2 lines, the Montclair State line has about a 15-pound advantage on Kean's offensive line. So
Chun's first carry of this game got 2 yards. It'll make a 3rd and 1, and now Chun in motion. 9:46 left first quarter. Ball tipped in the air, intercepted by Jesse Shanker around his own 45, and he could take it the distance. D'Ambrezi's the only guy he's got to beat, and Tom D'Ambrezi, I think, pushed him out of bounds. What hustle by the Kean quarterback, but it is a 53-yard interception return that will set the Redhawks up with a 1st and goal. Shanker makes his 2nd interception of the year, and already the teams have exchanged turnovers here in a scoreless first quarter. But now the Redhawks all of a sudden knocking on the door with 9:36 to go.
Yeah, D'Ambrezi did a nice job there of taking a good angle to save the touchdown. And I guess now it's going to come down to the Kean defensive line keeping Bliss out of the end zone.
Bliss is the lone tailback. The lone receiver out to the right side is Omar Sevilla, the senior. Handoff, Bliss, right side, all kinds of room, and he could have walked into the end zone. It's a 2-yard touchdown run for Jeff Bliss, his 12th of the year, and Montclair State takes a 6-0 lead. We've got 9:31 left first quarter.
Well, again, we talked, as we said at the top of the game, talking to Dan Garrett. 2 things he said was cut down on the penalties, cut down on the turnovers, and we've seen too much of both already.
Junior kicker Marco Capozzoli, reigning NJAC Special Teams Player of the Week, hit 3 field goals in that victory over Rowan last week. Left-footed kicker, and Shanker, who just made the interception to set up that touchdown, is the holder. Shanker puts it down, and Capozzoli puts it through. So, just over 5 minutes into the game, and Montclair State has taken a 7-0 lead. Let's get one more look at what set up that touchdown, a pass that looked like it was deflected.
It looks like number 64 got his paws on it there.
That would be Brian Drew, the senior. And that's a good call. A 6'2", 245-pound senior getting his big paw on that, and that led to the interception, setting up Montclair State's first touchdown. And we'll be back for the ensuing kickoff. Montclair State up 7-0 on Kean here on KUTV.
Hey, Lena, where's yours?
Following the tragic events of September 11th, there have been hundreds of violent attacks against innocent Americans.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
Remember, please stop the hate.
We're stronger when we are united.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
One nation under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty
And justice.
for all.
In America, there's either room for everyone, or it's not America. Don't pick the wrong fight.
Let's keep America land of the free.
Stop the hate.
This is Mommy's bed. Me and Jenny were jumping on it. Mommy's gun fell on the floor. I was a cowboy. Bang, 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 bang. I said, Jenny, wake up, it's just pretend. But she wouldn't wake up.
Capozzoli, who just added the extra point, is on to kick things off. It's a short, high kick, settling down around the 25-yard line, fielded by Lewis Haynes, who's out past the 35 before he's finally tackled. The Redhawks trying to keep the ball away from the dangerous Darrell Dukes. We'll have more on him in a bit as the Kean offense returns to the field, but Corey, right away, Kean getting behind. Now, not the worst thing in the world. 2 years ago, when they beat Montclair State here at home, they actually trailed by 7 at the half, came back with a big fourth quarter, but they face a big uphill battle right now.
Yeah, I think, again, Coach Garrett is a steady hand, and just, I'm sure he's telling his players, relax, play the game, stick to the game plan, and we'll be okay.
1st and 10, Kean from their own 35. D'Ambrezi throws again, complete to Dukes, and forced out of bounds. by Gibson and McGrady. So Duke's already with 4 catches in the first 6 minutes of action here. And Breezy, well, he's completed all his passes, 4 to Dukes, but unfortunately 1 to Jesse Schenker of the Redhawks. And that 53-yard return set up the Redhawks' first touchdown. But Dukes comes into the game with 1,243 all-purpose yards, and if you count all the times he's touched the ball on kick returns, rushes, and on receptions, Duke's averaging 13 yards every time he touches the ball, and here he goes again, getting the pitch on first down. I guess I'm being a little loud. Montclair State must have heard me down on the field there because they bottled up Dukes right away.
And again, the amazing thing, and I know we've talked about this in other games, is especially this year, he's going to, if you're an opposing defense, he's going to be getting the ball a lot, and defenses are geared to stop him, and yet he is still finding ways to be effective, be productive on offense. I mean, it's a great credit to Durrell and to the Kean offensive staff.
Duke's 34th carry of the year, and that's only 1 yard, so 2nd down and 9. Cougars from their own 46-yard line. 8:19 remaining first quarter, and Breezy throws under pressure. It may be intercepted again, and it is! Mario McLean, the sophomore from Montville Township, with his team-leading 5th interception of the year.
Not sure if he was trying to go to Dukes there or just trying to throw it away, and Dukes was in the area, but again, last week, Montclair had a record 5 turnovers for the season, forced 5 turnovers, 3 of those interceptions, and they're off to another good start here, unfortunately.
And Breezy struggled a little bit last week, too. He completed 12 out of 16, but he threw 3 picks. He's got 2, unfortunately, on his first 2 drives right here, and even though we quite can't see it, a nice play by McLean. And so 1st and 10, Montclair State from the Cougar 49, a handoff to Bliss. And he's stopped by Jamal Williams and Marcal Ginyard after a gain of 4. But 2 possessions for the Cougars, 2 costly turnovers. Now, granted, they made an interception that ended Montclair State's first drive, but after that, the long interception return, they're giving the Redhawks the last couple drives a short field to work with.
Yes, they are. And it's tough. Breezy's still a freshman. That's the thing. And he's going to struggle at times, but he's also going to make great plays later on. And I think this is, I think he's going to settle down here.
2nd and 6, handoff to Bliss. Big hole off the right side again, and he's tripped up by Chris Lauda. Otherwise, that could have been even more yardage. So it was a 2nd down and 4 from the Kean 43-yard line. Bliss will take this one all the way down to the 28-yard line, so a pickup of 15. Another 1st and 10 for the Redhawks, and they have a 7-0 lead with just over 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Fisher, freshman quarterback's thrown only 1 pass, and it was only the 4th interception he's thrown all year, but since then, Montclair State keeping it on the ground. Bliss again turns out some hard yardage, the sophomore from New Milford. In fact, had the New Milford High School rushing record for quite a couple years until a fella recently this year by the name of A.J. Scopa broke his record, but Bliss still needing a few more yards to reach 1,000 for the season for Montclair State University. That was a gain, that was a no-gainer, so a 2nd down and 10 now from the Kean 28-yard line for Montclair. Fisher from the shotgun, handoff Bliss again. He's been the workhorse, and he will get close to the 1st down yardage on that run. Will give him 9, moves the ball all the way down to the Kean 29-yard line.
I mean, they are just running a lot off that right side, off of, with Goff and Wambaugh and Mercer right there, and they're just doing they're just sealing the left side of that Kean defense and just eating up some yards.
And check that. He got down to the 20-yard line, so it'll be a 3rd down and 2 from the 20. Montclair State up a touchdown with 5:45 remaining in the first quarter. Single receiver is Papson. Handoff to Bliss again, and he is loving that right side right now because he picks up 3 more yards and just enough for another Montclair State first down. He's carried 4 straight times.
Yeah, I know Coach Garrett talked about loading up the box. But right now, the Montclair offensive line is just doing a job of opening up spaces, opening up holes for Bliss to get through.
And in this game last year, up at Montclair, Bliss actually came off the bench and ran 24 times for 165 yards. He's already well on his way to eating that much yardage today. DeAndrea's in the backup tailback, but they hand it off to the fullback, Jason Scott, who rumbled for 16 big yards on the very first play of the game. Here, he gets 3. And so Bliss finally gets a little bit of a breather. I'd have to figure he'd get tired sooner or later. It is a 2nd down and 7 from the Kean 15.
I mean, if they can hold them to a field goal here, it would be a huge lift for the Cougars.
They'll go from the shotgun again. 2 receivers to either side. Keegan and Papson on the near side, and Sevilla and Lewin on the far side of the field. Fisher, the sophomore quarterback from the gun. Let's see if he throws it. It'll be just his 2nd pass of the day if he gets it away, and he does to Sevilla, tackled by Ali, and Pugh came in to finish it off. A gain of only about 3.
Yeah, they're, again, able to bring some pressure. Again, he's a freshman, too. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to bring pressure, move him out of his comfort zone.
And Fisher is 3rd in the NJAC in passing efficiency, right behind, who else? Tom D'Ambrisi of the Kean Cougars. And that actually only picked up 3 yards on the completion to Sevilla. So 3rd down and 5 from the Kean 13-yard line.
Don't be surprised they go to the right. Ooh,
and it is Bliss, and it is the right side again, but the Cougars smelled it that time as Ali made the first hit, and that will bring up 4th down after Bliss gets no gain.
Nice job there, reading the play and wrapping up Bliss.
Freshman Justin Laguna also in there, playing some linebacker now. His brother's Joseph Laguna, who is a 2-time NJAC Defensive Rookie of the Week himself. But Joe Laguna's been out with a concussion. Justin playing some solid defense, and that's why the Redhawks will have to settle for a 30-yard field goal attempt by Capozzoli. They already have a 7-0 lead. Schenker puts it down. Capozzoli puts it up and curls it through. So with 3:04 remaining in the first quarter, Montclair State has struck first and second. They have a 10-0 lead on the home Kean Cougars. Timeout on the field. We will take one as well and be back with you. Kean trailing by 10 early here on KUTV.
I can listen.
I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help.
You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
To a child, a little of your time can make a lifetime of difference. That's why the Greenville Family Partnership sponsored a hike, because kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
Standing right in front of them.
Whether you're a good storyteller or a good listener, you can help. To find out about community drug prevention programs, call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Let me open that, Nana.
Every kid should be like you.
To learn more, visit drugfree.org.
The Montclair State Redhawks kicking off for the 2nd time after the 30-yard field goal by Capozzoli. This time Dukes will field the ball at his own 20, makes a man miss, gets up to the 25, but an ankle tackle. Good job by the Montclair State special teams. Number 42, Kevin Cloghessy, was the one that dragged him down.
We were talking during the break first, Greg. After 2 straight interceptions by D'Ambrisi, I expect to see a lot of chun here on this possession.
It'll be 1st and 10 Kean from their own 29-yard line. Chun has only carried once. Dukes has carried once. Otherwise, Kean has gone exclusively to the air, and they've been able to find Dukes. But again, the couple of interceptions, and that's why the ball goes to Chun, leading rusher in the end jack, but he lost the football on the way down, and Montclair State recovers. A disastrous set of events for Kean. 3 turnovers on their first 3 possessions, and on the bottom of that pile is the big defensive tackle, Chris Merkel, his 2nd fumble recovery of the year. And let's see if maybe we can detect exactly where it came out, and it might be there on that hit. Chun got past the safety, Sean Gibson, but it looked like maybe the middle linebacker, Cornell Hunt, was the one that knocked it out. Either way, Montclair State gets it back, and well, they wanted to stay away from maybe throwing another pick, but even when they go to the run game, Kean turns it over, and Bliss will go right back to the right side. Montclair State, we talked to Coach Garrett before the game, Corey. He says he knows exactly what they're going to do, and Montclair State is just going to keep on doing it.
Yeah, exactly. They, and why wouldn't you at this point? That's a big line. Goff and Wamba are just big guys. I mean, they're 6'3", 265 pounds, and 6'3", 355 pounds.
That's a lot of beef. Not going to lie to you there. And Bliss needed 65 yards to get to 1,000 on the season, and he may get there before the end of the first quarter as he gets another carry. This one won't go quite as far. He picks up nothing, actually. His first run on this drive went for 2. Second run goes for 0. 3rd down and 8, Montclair State from the Kean 35. They have a 10-point lead, and we still have 1:50 remaining here in the first quarter.
I mean, this is where the defense has had some success here when they forced Montclair into long 3rd and long.
Kean's opponents completing just 35% of 3rd downs on the year. An empty backfield for Montclair State. Fisher from the gun. 5 receivers in the pattern. He's looking over the middle for Byron Lewin, who makes the catch. And finally dragged down by Justin Laguna at the 15-yard line. It's a 20-yard pickup on 3rd and 8. And another first down for the Redhawks.
It was good coverage. I just don't think Laguna ever saw the ball.
Lewin's 16th catch of the year. And another first down for Montclair State. They've done that quite often here in the first half. And Fisher had the time, and boy, that was a well-thrown ball. Hit that back shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely.
1st and 10 from the 15 for Montclair State, looking to add to a 10-0 lead as we wind down the end of the first quarter. Bliss, right side, again, like a broken record. This time he picks up almost 10 more yards, finally forced out of bounds by Dorigo.
If you look at the block that Mercer put on there, he sealed that right side up.
Mercer, not known as a receiving tight end. He did catch a touchdown in Montclair State's last game, the victory over Rowan, but it is exactly a 10-yard pickup for Bliss, and now 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for the Redhawks, trying to cash in and pick up their 3rd score of the day. We're under 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Fisher, handoff, Bliss. It worked before, and it almost worked again. 3-yard gain on 1st and goal. Bliss scored his first touchdown of the game off of that right side, and I wouldn't be surprised if they hand it to him again, although let's see if perhaps they do it on the other side of the field. The play clock hasn't restarted yet, and we're down to 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kean trails 10-0, and they've already turned the ball over 3 times, so this may be a welcome break for them as we end the first quarter. And prepare to switch sides of the field. So the clock hits 0. And as we move on, Kean will try to erase that 0 from their side of the scoreboard. Montclair State's forced 3 turnovers and cashed in with a Bliss touchdown run and a Campazoli 30-yard field goal. End of the first, Montclair State 10, Kean nothing. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter right after this on KUTV.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that drinks from the stream, that hugs the mountain, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that toils at the job, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand, that sows the seed.
All life is woven together. How can we choose which environmental cause to support? Earthshare, the workplace giving program, makes it simple by bringing the leading environmental groups together under one umbrella. Support Earthshare, and you support them all, including the hands that sow the seeds and protect the forests and the streams and the children. To learn more, please visit our website.
Choose to help a loved one struggling with drugs or alcohol. It could change everything.
Jeff Bliss, the Montclair State running back, already has one 2-yard touchdown in the game. He'll try and pick up another one here from 2 yards out on 2nd and goal. Bliss carries over the left side this time. The Redhawks have been using the right side all day so far, but on the first play of the second quarter, they go left, and Bliss picks up one of the 2 yards he needs. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. Greg Tartaglia and Corey Laszlocky with you here on KUTV as the Cougars, not the start they wanted against Montclair State, the second-place team in the NJAC. They're down 10-0.
I know it's early in the game. It's only the start of the second quarter, but this may be the biggest play of the game right now for Kean. They've got to keep Montclair out of the end zone if they want to have a chance at getting back into this game.
2 tight ends for the Redhawks. They also line up Jason Scott, the fullback, as a tight end. Bliss tries to plow his way ahead. The linemen put their arms up, and now the officials do as well, signaling the second touchdown of the day for Montclair State sophomore Jeff Bliss. A 1-yard run this time, and Montclair State has a 16-0 lead. We're just 2 plays into the second quarter.
Again, running off that left side. A little surprising there, again, after the success they had in the first quarter.
Bliss now with 13 touchdowns on the year. Capozzoli on to attempt the extra point. He had 3 of them last week, 3 out of 4 field goals, and being named NJAC's Special Teams Player of the Week. Capozzoli boots his second extra point up and through. So he has 5 of the Redhawks now 17 points. Bliss with the other 12 on a pair of touchdown runs from short yardage, and with 14:10 to go in the second quarter, visiting Montclair State leads 17-0 over the Cougars. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside as well here on KUTV.
Every week we return all our cans and bottles. Yeah, we help to reduce the world's waste.
Aluminum? It's like gold. Oh, yeah.
Environmental defense. Get Green. For more environmentally friendly tips, go to getgreen.com.
Oh, there's a bottle. Where? Right over there. To your left. To your left. There you go. You got it.
Montclair State kicking off yet again. They have a 17-0 lead on the home Kean Cougars. Montclair trying for its 9th win of the year, and this kickoff will be a touchback for the first time today. And so Lewis Haynes won't have a chance to return this one. He had a nice 20-yard return on the last kickoff, but Kean hasn't been able to cash in. Corey, 3 drives and 3 turnovers already, 2 picks and a fumble.
For this possession, it's back to basics here. Just, let's get some first downs. Let's get a series. Let's get some rhythm. I mean, they have not been able to really establish anything because of the 3 turnovers. So just keep it simple, move the chains, and get some positive momentum here.
2 of the senior linemen, Matt Dempsey and Chris Gould, playing on senior day, and they clear out a little bit of space for Jared Chun there on 1st and 10 from the 20. Chun picks up 3 yards.
I mean, we were talking in the pregame open. This is a real yin-yang type matchup. I mean, both teams, Kean comes into the game with the #1 scoring offense, the #1 total offense. Montclair comes in with the #1 scoring defense, #1 total defense.
And the defense has produced all 17 of their points today, or at least they've gotten 17 points off of turnovers. The freshman quarterback Tom D'Ambrisi back to throw on 2nd and 7 from his own 23. Has time, scrambles, steps back, and does the old Favre off the back foot. But fortunately for the Cougars, smartly out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's going to have to do here. If there's nothing there, throw it away. Don't try and just play within yourself. I know that's – I hate that cliche because I'm never quite sure exactly what that really means. But, he's just got to not make a turnover here. And, again, just get some positive momentum on this possession.
D'Ambrisi, I kind of made the Favre comparison, #1 being a Jets fan. But #2, also, if you look at the numbers, he had thrown 15 touchdowns but 12 interceptions on the year coming in. That number's up to 14. And, look, he's only a freshman, so I'm sure that this experience will help him cut down on that in the future. And right there, he makes a smart decision on 3rd and 7. Didn't like the defense he saw. Takes a timeout. So we'll take a break as well. 17-0 Redhawks leading the Cougars here on KUTV.
I write social poetry, echoing the voices of those who are unable to speak up. Being Colombian has given me the strength to understand that I can make a difference by motivating young people to take control of their destiny, even in situations of conflict. If we have the capacity of keeping our own flame alive, no one can take that fortune from us. We're free. My name is Elizabeth Torres. I'm 20 years old. I'm a poet, a painter, and a motivational speaker. I'm a student here at Kean University, and I'm changing the world every day by inspiring young people to follow their dreams just like I do.
The Kean Cougars facing a 3rd down and 7 from their own 23-yard line, already trailing 19th-ranked Montclair State 17-0 here early in the 2nd quarter. Fake the pass, handoff to Chun. The draw on 3rd and long works. A great play call by the Cougars out of the timeout. Chun gets up to the 34-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a Cougars 1st down.
Yeah, going back to your Favre comparison, there was a nice job with the fake throw.
I've seen Brett Favre do that plenty of times.
Yeah, that was a really nice job. Again, D'Ambrisi's a freshman, so he's going to make mistakes. You have to expect, unfortunately, he's going to make some mistakes like the interceptions, but he's also going to do a lot of good things like that nice play action.
The Cougars hoping for more good things here as they have their first down since early in the 1st quarter. And it's a handoff to Chun yet again. Line of scrimmage was the 34, and it looked like Chun got up to the 35 before he was stopped by the middle of that Redhawks defense, including big number 92, Nick Giangrandi.
And Atkins lost his helmet there.
Atkins, a 250-pound fullback, and he is a load, does lead the way. In fact, he'll get you some short yardage, too. He's got 4 touchdowns from short yardage this year. And on that play, after Chun picks up 1, it will be 2nd and 9 Cougars from their own 35-yard line, down 17-0 with 12:20 to go here in the 2nd quarter. D'Ambrisi from the shotgun, this time fakes to Chun, pumps, looks back over the middle, finds his tight end Rick Jager past the 45, up to the 48-yard line, and Jager gets 13 yards on just his 5th catch of the year, but it is a Cougars 1st down.
Nice job there. And you know what? This is what Kean has to do a little bit. They have to go away from Dukes a little bit and start involving guys like Jager, guys like Felton.
And who knows, maybe they threw those 4 straight passes to Dukes at the beginning of the game. They're all complete. One was wiped out by a penalty, but you establish him early, and maybe now some of those other guys will come open for D'Ambrisi, who has his team facing 1st and 10 from their own 48. Pitch to Chun, left side, has a lane, and he's stopped by McLean, who made a big interception to end one of the Cougars' first 3 drives there. He stops Chun after a pickup of 4.
Gould with a nice block there on the edge.
McLean, the sophomore safety from Boonton. He went to Montville Township High School. In fact, I had a chance to see him play there. He was a pretty good running back as well as a safety. Focusing solely on the defensive side as a member of the Red Hawks. And now Cougars back on offense with a 2nd down and 6. But they're in Montclair State territory at the 48. D'Ambrisi throws, this time complete to Felton, slips the tackle from Gibson, and forced out of bounds by number 25, Dominique Dixon. Felton came up just about 2 yards shy of the 1st down. He'll get 4 on the reception.
And that's what we're talking about. That's what they've got to do. They've got to mix it up, look to other guys to keep this Montclair State defense a little honest. If they're going to focus on Dukes and if they're going to try and take him away, there's a lot of other talented players on this offense that can get the job done.
They give Felton credit for 5, 3rd down and a long one from the Montclair State 43-yard line for KU quarterback Tom D'Ambrisi, who hands it off to Jared Chun straight ahead. And Chun, he wants to atone for that early fumble, and he does right there, picks up 2 yards, pushes that pile, and gets the Cougars their 3rd first down of this drive. Corey, that's more than they had in the whole first quarter.
Yeah, and again, this is a nice job here on this possession. I mean, coming into the game, again, another sort of this duality here. Kean has the number 1, leads the NJAC in 3rd down efficiency. Montclair State is 2nd in the NJAC in stopping teams on 3rd down, but a nice job there by Chun to, fight for the extra yard.
1st and 10 Cougars from the Red Hawk 41, under 10 and a half minutes to go, 2nd quarter now. They're down 3 scores, and the Red Hawks have come up with 3 interceptions already. Not sure if that was an interceptable ball, but it was batted away at the last moment by Sal McGrady.
I thought there was going to be a flag there. It looked like it may have been there a little early. I did see some yellow, but it turned out to be a leaf. A lot of foliage blowing around.
You gotta be careful
here.
of those this time of year.
But I again, though, in all seriousness, I did think he was there a little early, but no flag.
And it is a mid-November day, the first time Montclair State and Kean are playing in the season finale. Of course, it's their 34th meeting. We told you at the top of the program, Montclair State 28-5 all-time against Kean. Cougars will try to reverse that. And here's Dukes on the reception, picking up 6 yards. Down to the MSU 35.
Well, you could see there, I thought they were going to go to a wide receiver screen there. I mean, it had Sean Atkins and Cade out there, 2 big bodies out there, setting up some blocks downfield.
3rd and 4 Cougars from the Montclair State 35-yard line. It's their best drive of the day. Of course, their first 3 all ended in turnovers.
I mean, if anything, this has been important just to give that defense a little bit of time to catch its breath.
11th play upcoming for the Cougars is a 3rd and 4. D'Ambrisi from the shotgun, rolling to his right, directing traffic, throws downfield for Dukes. And I'll tell you what, I think Dukes would have to be about 7 feet tall just to get his hands on that ball. A little out of bounds and down 17-0.
We have a flag.
We'll see what happens here. Someone's down, and it's D'Ambrisi. He may have taken a late shot.
I didn't see what happened.
Tom D'Ambrisi, the freshman quarterback, he's picked off a few times by this Montclair State defense, and there he gets his bell rung a little bit, but that is most definitely not legal.
No, and they're going to get a very important 1st down with the 15-yard penalty.
And the Cougars, who have been moving the ball well all day, D'Ambrisi, though, he looks shook up, and he will come off. Anthony Giordano, the sophomore backup, is going to have to come in, but D'Ambrisi will get a rest just when he started to turn things around.
Yeah, they'll bear watching to see if he returns here. He's up on his feet.
1st down and 10, Kean from the Montclair State 20. The new quarterback is Anthony Giordano. Led his high school team, Clifton, to a state sectional championship as a senior. Now he's coming in having thrown only 1 pass this year, so he hands it off to Dukes on the wide receiver sweep, and Dukes will gain 2 yards.
So
2nd
again,
down and 8. And right away, D'Ambrisi comes back in. I was going to say Giordano, he's 0 for 1 on the season. You don't want him throwing a pass right away. And so it looked like they just had him in there to hand it off.
The smart play just to buy some time. Let D'Ambrisi get the day and the date.
Yeah, make sure he knows he's in the right stadium. Now the 2 backs in the backfield are Jared Chun and Chris Aquino. Chun will move into the slot. Aquino will stay back to block. D'Ambrisi throws on 2nd and 8, and he was looking in the direction of Dukes, but good coverage again by Mario McLean, who has had an impact so far. His interception set up the second Montclair State score of the day. That was the 30-yard field goal by Marco Capozzoli. They also scored a touchdown after a long interception return by Jesse Schenker, and they converted a fumble recovery into a Jeff Bliss touchdown. Bliss with 2 touchdowns on the day, but he hasn't been on the field in a while. This will be the 14th play of the drive coming up for the Cougars, who are finding an answer
I think
to
this
this
is a
17-0 deficit.
I think it's a 2-down possession here, Greg. Even if they don't get
D'Ambrisi with all day to throw, and he finally scrambles away. He's going to run it himself, get near the first down, and dive for it. Let's see if maybe he stepped out of bounds beforehand. I think he did. The referee marking him out at the 12-yard line, but D'Ambrisi, with a pickup of 6, will make it a 4th down, and let's see what the Cougars elect to do.
Boy, he just does a really good job. We say this all season, just does a great job of keeping a play alive with his feet.
And he is a scrambler on the
yeah,
season.
Right there.
He's got 39 carries for 83 yards and a great leap, but he is short. However, 4th down and 2, down by 3 scores in the second quarter. Kean will go for it, and they'll hand it to Atkins. A short yardage back, gets close, tries to push the pile. Montclair State, though, seems to think they stopped him.
Even if he doesn't get it, I like the call.
The Redhawks celebrating, and for good reason. They have held Kean on 4th down. A 15-play, 62-yard drive. Check that, a 68-yard drive is stopped short right there, and the Redhawks will take over 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line.
But again, they were able to sustain a drive here. The defense has got him backed up pretty far in Montclair's own end. If they can get a stop here and get the ball in good field position.
And on 1st down and 10, the handoff, Bliss right side. No surprises so far from this Montclair State offense as Bliss picks up 4 yards. They have been working that right side with him all day so far, and he's got a pair of touchdowns already. Montclair State trying to build on a 17-0 lead. We've got 7:37 to go in the second quarter. 2nd down, 6, Montclair State from their own, call it the 15.5-yard line. Handoff, Bliss again. Right side again. And they seem content to grind out those yards with him. We told you he's nearing 1,000 on the season, but he's only averaging 3.9 yards per carry.
You know, in a way right now, Montclair State can be a little conservative. They're up 17-0. They've got the ball deep in their own end. You know, and hopefully Kean can take advantage if Montclair sort of goes to sleep here a little bit.
So Bliss picked up about 1.5 yards, a 3rd and a long 4 for Montclair from their own 16-yard line. Fisher from the shotgun. Hasn't had to throw often today, but he does here and completes it to Papson. Just 1 yard past that 1st down marker, and when they needed about 4 or 5, Papson gave him 6. It is another 1st down for the Redhawks. Fisher throwing only his 3rd pass of the day, and big Darrell Jackson wearing that number 12 today. It looks weird to see that number on a big man.
Yeah, that one's getting stretched pretty far.
And he has been able to clog up the middle, but again, running off tackle, Bliss has had a lot of success. However, on this play, he gets a breather, and the backup Chris DeAndrea is in. Fake to DeAndrea on 1st down and 10, completion over the middle to Jeremy Mercer, the tight end. It was 1st and 10 Montclair State from their own 22, but with a 13-yard pickup to Mercer, they'll move the sticks once again.
I mean, it's kind of tough right now. I mean, they're bringing Pugh up on. They're trying to put a lot of guys in the box and bringing Pugh up on that one side, and that lets Mercer. kind of roam free a little bit over the middle.
First down and 10 for Montclair State from their own 35. And after running the ball endlessly, they've now thrown the last 2 times. They will go back to the ground with Chris DeAndrea, who reverses his field, slips out of a tackle. Rodney Holiday, the defensive end, is finally there to finish him off as Jackson pushed him into the waiting arms of his junior classmate. And after a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11 for Montclair State, who has a 17-0 lead, but we still have 5:20 to go here in the first half.
Still a lot of time. A lot of time. They get a stop here, get a score. They're going to get the ball at the start of the second half.
And Kean already has forced 1 turnover today. They got an interception that ended Montclair State's first drive of the day. That by Markel Ginyard, one of the 12 seniors playing on senior day. But now Kean wants to talk things over defensively. They will take their first time out of the first half with 5:08 to go. Montclair State has a 17-0 lead on Kean here at Alumni Stadium. We'll be back after this timeout on KUTV.
Make your public schools so exciting, your kids won't want to come home. Find out how. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
Following the tragic events of September 11th, there have been hundreds of violent attacks against innocent Americans.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
Remember, please stop the hate.
We're stronger when we are united.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
One nation under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty
And justice.
for all.
In America, there's either room for everyone, or it's not America. Don't pick the wrong fight.
Let's keep America land of the free.
Stop the hate.
Fairfield County 911.
I need help.
Where are you at?
Well, ma'am, I don't know exactly, but I'm freezing, and my girlfriend's here freezing.
Mike, I want to help you so bad, hon. I want to find out where you're at.
My phone's just about to die. You're my last chance here. We're scared. Please help us.
Correction, Kean takes its second timeout of the first half, and there you see the situation they face against the Redhawks, who came into the game ranked 18th by D3Football.com, 19th in all of Division III by the American Football Coaches Association poll. And the Redhawks are facing 2nd down and 11 from their own 34-yard line. Freshman quarterback Tom Fisher sends his receiver Papson in motion. 5 on the play clock. A flag flies in the air, and Fisher loses the ball on the way down. Looks like a forced fumble. Kean has recovered. At the bottom of the pile, it's Jared Cagle with Jordan Cagle, but hold on. Let's see who this flag is against. And I see the Cougars celebrating, and after an illegal shift prior to the snap, it's a penalty against the Redhawks. So on the sack and the forced fumble, didn't see who knocked the ball out. We'll get a look at it. We can tell you that Jordan Cagle recovered. And right there coming around the end might have been Rodney Holiday. See, yep, number 90 coming into the picture from your right side. And the Cougars have forced their second turnover of the day. Let's see if they can cash in on this one with 5:02 to go in the half. 1st and 10 from the Montclair State 31. Handoff is to Chun. Lots of room up that left side. Slips through 2 tackles before McLean finally finishes him off. Chun gets 8 on the first down carry.
Boy, D'Ambrisi did a good job of fielding that snap.
And the Cougars have had snapping problems all year. They've switched centers. Shabazz Green has come on to take over the centering duties, and he's done well so far, but it's those little types of mistakes that Coach Garrett said he wanted in the pregame that he wanted to eliminate today. I'm sure he will have an opportunity to eliminate them more in the second half. Kean just has to put the mistakes they've made behind him because they face a 2nd down and 3 from the Montclair State 24. Handoff to Atkins. Straight ahead, no. A little bit of a faker there as D'Ambrisi keeps for 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
I'm not sure if that was a planned play or not. I mean, I've noticed a couple times here on the handoffs that there's a little bit of a lag in the exchange. It did look a
little like the old triple option where you put it in the guy's belly and then take it out. But Breezy and company facing a 3rd down and 1 from the Montclair State 22. The last Kean drive went 14 plays, got all the way down to the Montclair 18. They went for it on 4th down and 2. Not a bad play, down by 3 scores, but again, still early. 3rd and 1, now they want to throw it. Breezy rolling to his right, pursued by Merkel, and throws it to the end zone where Jaeger is unable to come up with it, but that would have taken a superhuman dive. And so now with 4th and 1 from the Montclair State 22, do they go for it again? They do need some points.
I'd say they go for it. I was a little surprised they went for a pass there. I would thought they might have gone. Again, I felt it was a 2-down situation. I thought maybe they might put it on the ground and see where they were after that play.
And a good job by Breezy. He did throw it where none of the Red Hawks can get to it. Coach Garrett saying, look, no matter what he does with the ball, either throw it to us or throw it to no one or scramble with it. He doesn't want to see it ending up in the arms of the Red Hawks anymore. Already have 2 interceptions today and have forced a fumble. But now with 4th down and 1, facing the Cougars from the 22, they will take their last timeout of the first half as the play clock have run all the way down. 3:27 to go in the second quarter. Kean trailing Montclair State 17-0. We'll be back after this timeout on KUTV.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me $11. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
Kean Cougars facing an uphill battle late in the first half here. You can see they trail by 3 scores. They'd like to get at least one of them back after forcing their second turnover of the day. A sack and a forced fumble by Rodney Holliday that was recovered by Jordan Cagle. But now on offense, facing 4th down and 1. It's a one-back set for the Cougars. Breezy rolling out, throwing, completing to Jaeger, who bobbled it. And I don't think he held on for long enough. No, he did not. They say incomplete pass, and the Cougars come up empty again.
It's a nice call. Good. It was just. I thought he was going to Dukes there. He had Dukes rolling, heading to the sideline.
Jaeger trying to make his second reception of the day. He had a big one to pick up a first down in the first quarter. But the Cougars, you know what? They've been moving the ball on offense, but they have missed a couple opportunities here on these last 2 drives.
Yeah, they have.
Montclair State now has a 1st and 10 from their own 22. And there is time for them, if they want to try and get another score. You got a feeling they'll keep it on the ground, and they do again with Bliss. Popped immediately by Victor Dorigo, the leading tackler for the Cougars. Does his thing right there and holds Bliss to a gain of 1.
Yeah, the defense has done a good job, when they haven't had to play with a short field, of, slowing down and stopping this Montclair offense, which is not, is not a powerful offense. I mean, they spread the ball out a lot in the passing game, and, it's a lot of 3 yards in a cloud of dust with Bliss.
Redhawks looking for their first road win against Kean since 2002, and they have the lead, and they hand it off to their fullback yet again, Jason Scott. He'd only carried 3 times all season. That's his 3rd carry of the day, but this one only goes for a yard as Jake Pugh and company able to blow it up.
Yeah, nice job staying at home, not over pursuing, letting the play flow into them. again, you have another third and long situation here. I'd be surprised, third and long, kind of deep in their own end with 2 minutes left in the half.
I don't think Montclair State's going to try anything too risky with a 3-score lead.
No.
We are down to 2 minutes remaining first half. 3rd and 8 for Montclair State. They're on their own 24. Receiver in motion is Lewin. Fisher takes the shotgun snap, has time, stands in, throws, intercepted by Chris Lauda at the 42-yard line. Lauda reversing his field, up the left sideline. He's to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the house. Chris Lauda gets the Cougars right back in the game. Their first score of the day comes on defense, a 42-yard pick six, and the Cougars now trail 17-6 with 1:40 to go in the second quarter.
Boy, if they ever needed a big play, it was right there. Really a shocking turn of events, so to speak. He was, I believe, like triple covered. He threw that into triple coverage there.
For Lauda, his second interception return for touchdown of the year and the third of his career. Jaeger on to add the extra point. Giordano had to come in for one play while D'Ambrisi was hurt, resumes his normal holder duties. And an ugly kick that spins through the uprights for Rick Jaeger means a PAT good. Cougars trail 17-7, and let's take another look at Chris Lauda's team-leading 4th interception of the year.
He just overthrows.
That's Papson.
Overthrows Papson. Again, I was surprised he made that throw. It was a triple coverage there. And Lauda just does a great job reversing field and just giving it everything he had to get in the end zone.
And as you see, firing up that Cougars team, which does have to go back on defense. Maybe that's the only downside, is that they have to go back on defense. But Montclair State, other than those turnovers that gave them short fields, Montclair State hasn't had a whole lot to work with. With this Kean defense, they've hung in there.
You're absolutely right, Greg. And it's like this stadium came alive. I mean, let's see what they can do here. They can pin them. And unfortunately, they don't have any timeouts. So I'd be surprised if, it's that Montclair State doesn't just have a couple runs up the gut to run the clock out, but let's see what they can do here.
Kean does only have one timeout left, and I have to be honest, after that play, I don't think Montclair State's going to throw another pass this half.
No, I mean, that's his second turn. That's a second interception, his third turnover of the half. So again, rookie quarterbacks, freshman quarterbacks.
Honestly, it's happened to both of them. Of course, they both have 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. The fumble on Kean's side was from the running back, but both quarterbacks have been picked off twice. Fisher has also fumbled. Really, the only difference is Kean's 3 turnovers came in their own end, giving Montclair State a short field, but the Cougars have forced 3 turnovers, and right there, they converted one of them directly into points, something that Montclair State's been doing all day. Let's see if this swings the tide. As Billy Daniels, check that, it's not Billy Daniels, that is Jaeger with the kickoff. Lewin will return it from his own 10-yard line, has a lane to the right, slips a tackle from Beckham Bujari, but Haynes comes in to finish him off at the 30-yard line. It'll be a return of 20 for Lewin, the freshman from up the road in Carteret.
Yeah, he had a lane there, and good thing he got tripped up a little bit there, because that could have gone for a lot more.
Montclair State, with 1:33 remaining in the second quarter, still has a 10-point lead, and they have a first down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Let's see what they do with these remaining 93 seconds. Cougars down to just 1 timeout. Does Montclair State try for more, knowing they've managed to get this lead despite turning the ball over 3 times, or do they just try and run it out? Trips formation left as Fisher is in the shotgun. Now Sevilla goes in motion, and the handoff is to DeAndrea. There is a flag on the play. DeAndrea slips a couple tackles. Rodney Holiday able to slow him up before the pack drags him down. It will be a 7-yard gain for DeAndrea if the flag does not bring it back. The officials conferring, and
either have a legal shift or a legal motion.
Well, that's what happened with Papson before, that illegal shift wiped out a first down play. And now they're going to say offsides on the offense. That's a little unusual, but I'm assuming that Sevilla, when he finally reset after the shift, may have lined up in the neutral zone. And all of a sudden, mistakes and penalties of that nature coming back to haunt Montclair State. The Cougars it would not be as big of a comeback as it was 2 years ago, but with 1:25 remaining in the first quarter, first down at 15 for the Montclair State Redhawks. Kean has a chance to go to halftime, only down 10. We'll see what the Redhawks do. I formation, handoff DeAndrea again, and again that Cougar run defense is tough. It's big Darrell Jackson getting all 355 pounds of him, we think, in the way of that run.
Let's see here. I mean, if they can save that timeout, see if they can stop him here and save that timeout for third, maybe call it here after this down.
Well, there are 20 seconds left on the play clock, 46 on the game clock, and if they get a stop here, who knows? They're at least trying to prevent Montclair State from kneeling it out. A loss of 1 on the run by DeAndrea. I formation again, and DeAndrea will get the handoff, playing back in his hometown of Union. There, he gets no yardage. And the clock is still running. I think Kean will be content to take it to halftime, trailing only by 10. And after turnovers on the last few possessions, Montclair State doesn't want to do anything risky. Up 17-7, and the Cougars will head to the locker room as the clock ticks down to 0. So, after 3 first-quarter turnovers put the Cougars in an early 17-0 hole, they've clawed their way back, forcing some turnovers of their own, including Chris Lauda's 42-yard interception return touchdown that draws them to within 10, 17-7 Montclair State as we head to the half. We'll be back with some halftime stats and a lot more for you here on KUTV.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand.
Earthshare is the workplace giving program bringing the leading environmental groups together. Support Earthshare, support them all. To learn more, please visit our website.
I can listen.
I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help.
You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
I always knew that I liked this place. You don't have to look too far to find a friendly face. I feel alive when I'm walking on this street. I feel the heart of the city pounding underneath my feet. Yeah, let the world keep spinning round and round. This is where it all goes down, down, down.
I like studying science because it's very black and white. There's very little room for interpretation. There's no gray area. There's a lot of material there, and the more you know, the further you can go. The hardest part about studying science is just the amount of information that you have. But as you go through the classes, you develop certain studying habits, and it becomes easier as you go along. One of the best ways I learned to deal with stress is to just go play basketball. I like the teamwork aspect of it. It's good exercise. And usually after we play basketball, I like to eat chicken wings. I'm Christian Granados, and I'm a fifth-year student in the Science and Technology program at Kean. I study cells and their nature. I'm doing research today that will change lives tomorrow.
Getting set to start the second half here between Kean and Montclair State, and the Cougars will receive. They got a little bit of momentum at the end of the first half. We'll give you some of those first half stats, but the big play for them, really, the Chris Glaude 40-yard interception return for a touchdown with 1:40 to go, and he likes playing against Montclair State. He had an 80-yard pick return last year, and Darrell Dukes keeps it in bounds on the 7-yard line, and they try the reverse. There wasn't a whole lot of field to reverse on the kickoff as Dukes hands off to Haynes. And Haynes only gets an additional 3 or 4 yards after the 16. So start of the second half, Kean trails 17-7. Greg Tartaglia, Corey Laszlaki with you. And Corey, as we were talking about, Kean has had some low-scoring first halves, but seems like in the second half they really bring that offense to life.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at, they have outscored their opponents the second half 166-109. And like you said, they have momentum coming into the half, and I really feel it's going to be whoever can sustain the momentum in this half is going to end up the victor.
1st and 10 Cougars. The ball is on their own 17-yard line. Tom D'Ambrisi, the freshman quarterback from under center. Hands off for Chun, the junior running back, has nowhere to go, stacked up along the left side of that line, and he'll lose about a half a yard. Now, last year in this game, Chun ran for only 29 yards on 12 carries. He's way ahead of that at the half, 8 carries for 38 yards, but still, Montclair State's got a lot better of the controlling the clock.
Yeah, I guess I should amend that a little bit. I guess whoever holds on to the momentum and the ball is going to be the victor here.
The rushing leaders for Montclair State at the half, Jeff Bliss, 18 carries for 61 yards. He needs only 4 more to go over 1,000 for the season. Jason Scott using the fullback. He had 3 carries for 22 yards. But again, both quarterbacks picked off twice. D'Ambrisi now looks to throw for the first time in the second half and completes it to Dukes for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch here. Both quarterbacks struggled in the first half. It's going to be, worth watching to see the psychology here a little bit, the mental state of both quarterbacks, how they come out. They come out guns blazing, or is one going to be a little gun shy?
Now, Dukes in the first half, 5 catches for 48 yards. Also had another catch wiped out by an interception. D'Ambrisi, 7 of 15, 67 yards, and 2 interceptions. But Fisher, he was just 4 out of 6. 2 picks, one of them returned for a touchdown. How about this? Montclair State only threw 6 passes in the first half. Now D'Ambrisi looking to throw on a 3rd down and 7, and a completion to Darrell Dukes, who came back for the ball.
Wow, great job there by the offensive line. You could have timed that with a if the sun was out today, with a sundial, the amount of time he got.
So Dukes with 6 catches now. That will give him 54 on the year, and he has broken his own single-season record for receptions in a season by a Cougar. And that one gives them another first down. Handoff, Chun, left side. And maybe Montclair State wanted to talk things over about that run defense. Yeah, they held Kean to 13 for 49 in the first half, but I don't know, maybe Coach Rick Giancola thought that was a bit too much.
Yeah, again, it's important that Kean keep it close here so they can continue to mix it up, continue to make Chun, a threat on the ground.
I was about to say in the first half, Montclair State ran the ball 25 times, passed it only 6, and Jeff Bliss, in addition to those 61 yards, does have 2 rushing touchdowns. And the Redhawks hanging on to that 17-7 lead. But now D'Ambrisi going deep for Darrell Dukes, and Mario McLean, who made a pick in that first half to set up one of those scores. is there to knock it away. Three Kean turnovers led to 3 Montclair State scores. One, a long interception return by Jesse Schenker, set up a Bliss 2-yard run. Then an interception by McLean near midfield, setting up Marco Capozzoli's 30-yard field goal. And a fumble recovery eventually led to Bliss's 1-yard touchdown run early in the second quarter. It was 17-0. Kean has come back to make it 17-7. They have a little momentum with 12-17 left in the third quarter here. Working on their first drive of the second half after they took the kickoff. 3rd and 7. D'Ambrisi throws over the middle to Chris Aquino out of the backfield, but it's only going to be a gain of about 6, and they needed 8.
Yeah, good protection there. He had time. But again, this is a tough Montclair passing defense.
4th and 2. So it'll be 4th down and 2. Kean went for a couple of 4th and shorts deep in Montclair State territory in the first half, but backed up in their own end, they won't do it here. And for the first time today and all season, we'll see Chris Suzo come in to punt, the freshman from Old Bridge. And Montclair State, they get after it. They've blocked a punt in 3 straight games, and Suzo able to get it away. That's the reason he's in there. And Haynes will let it roll dead. It nearly touched one of the Red Hawks. It looked like Gary Knopple. The ball bounced right behind number 32, but rolls harmlessly down. In fact, it takes a great Kean roll. Haynes will touch it down at the Montclair State 12-yard line. So for Suzo, that is a punt. If I know my math, 12, I'm lost.
Round up.
I need the
It was
chart.
a good punt.
It was
a
an
good
excellent
punt.
Suzo is first of the year. And Coach Dan Garrett telling us, look, Billy Daniels has done a pretty good job, but, he just liked the way Suzo got the ball out a little quicker.
Yeah, he definitely said, like you said before, Montclair comes after opposing punters, and Souza just has a little bit of quicker mechanics.
And Tom Fisher, the Montclair State quarterback, after a 48-yard punt, backed up in his own end, and on 1st and 10 from their own 13, they hand it off to Bliss, who gets 3.
Like we were talking about earlier, when Montclair has had to start at their own end, they have struggled. The Kean defense has done a good job of either forcing a turnover.
A call to pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8 for Montclair State from the 15-yard line. And again, they really capitalized on those short fields in the first half, but once Kean started cutting down the mistakes, we got a much closer game. And here's Bliss, averaged about 2 yards a carry against Rowan last week, and here he's not averaging a whole lot in the second half. Gains nothing there. He's still 2 yards shy of reaching 1,000 for the season.
But again, Montclair continue to try and work that right side. But, I think, the coaching staff, the Kean coaching staff, making some adjustments on defense. See if they can slow them down here on 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 8, and the Red Hawks will operate from their own 15-yard line. 10 minutes to go, third quarter. They still have a 10-point lead as Fisher drops to throw, finds his man Sevilla over the middle, tackled eventually by Ali and Dorigo.
Looks like he just might have it.
It looks like a pickup of about 9, and he only needed 8, so that will be a 1st down for Montclair State. And they will move the chains, the 9th 1st down of the game for the Red Hawks, who seemed like got most of their 1st downs in the first quarter before the Cougar defense started to clamp down.
Yeah. Again, they're working a short field. Makes it, completely changes the complexion of the play calling.
And as the wind picks up here in the second half, we'll see if maybe they keep it on the ground a little bit more. They like to do that with Bliss, and they like to run that right side. They did it endlessly in the first half, and their Bliss, well, I think Kean got wise to it because it's another pickup of only a yard.
Yeah, they definitely got good penetration there.
The Red Hawks?
With Matt Ali coming in at the outside linebacker position.
2nd and 9, Montclair State from their own 25.
Darnell Butler and Alamaju.
Shotgun again. Bliss is the lone setback. 2 receivers to either side for Fisher 8:48 remaining third quarter. Redhawks trying to expand on a 10-point lead, and Bliss able to churn out some yards there before Markel Ginyard makes the tackle. And with that carry, Jeff Bliss becomes the 12th running back in Montclair State history to rush for 1,000 yards in a season. On that carry, he picks up 8.
Be about 3rd and 1 here.
Bliss now with 22 carries for 70 yards on the day. We said he was a churner. Let's see if maybe he gets the call here on 3rd down and 1. Montclair State from their own 33-yard line. Fisher under center, sure enough, handoff Bliss, but the Cougars sniffed it out. Pugh leading the charge. Actually trailing, the defensive line did a great job of getting the push, and Jake Pugh finished him off.
Yeah.
No gain.
Good job. We're going to take a look here.
And there you see, yep, that it looks like he ran into Darnell Butler was there, Jordan Cagle among others, and I think he lost his helmet on the way down too.
Yeah, again, good penetration. You know, sniffed it out. They've been going right, and then come back left. But again, the Kean defensive line at home.
So Bliss now at 1,005 yards for the season, but nothing there. And for the first time to punt today will be Troy Cyber for the Montclair Redhawks. And Dukes back to his own 25, dancing, making some moves, gets past the 30, but only out to the 31. It's a 6-yard punt return for Darrell Dukes. And Kean will put it in play, 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, Montclair coming into the game, in addition to the play of getting the block punts, especially, he's also very effective covering kickoffs and punts.
And really, we talk about Montclair as a great defensive unit. I think, special teams has to be a factor as well. If you want to compare it to Virginia Tech's Beamer ball, well, they got Giancola ball up in Montclair, and they really do get after those kicks. And special teams, just one of the many reasons they're very solid.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to the kickoff coverage, they also have a very solid kicker.
On 1st and 10, DM Breezy play action. Back to throw. He throws it for Cade. Made sure to get it over the hands of Schenker, who already has a pick, but Cade a little far for him as well.
Yeah, almost had it. Got his hands. I thought he was going to be able to pull it in. Kean right now has the wind at their backs.
Head coach Dan Garrett, you may notice they're sporting a Fu Manchu mustache. It is senior day, 12 seniors on this team, and he told us before the game when he recruited all these 12 seniors, that was the look that he had. In fact, he grew a beard all week and then shaved it down to a Fu Manchu. I don't even know if his wife knows he has it, but she will if she's watching. Atkins, the fullback in motion. D'Ambrisi from the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Keeps it himself. What a great job. He put it in Chun's belly, pulled it right out, and D'Ambrisi got a scramble for about 7 yards.
Well, again, this is part of that breaking tendency that Coach Garrett talked about. You have a guy like Chun, he's going to get the ball. You start keying on him. We've seen it in the second half, the end of the second quarter. D'Ambrisi starting to look for other people, looking for Felton, looking for Cade. Now with the run game, doing some keepers himself.
D'Ambrisi, he now has 3 carries for 15 yards, but his team facing a 3rd down and 2 offset I formation from their own 39. Chun gets the call, finds the hole, and lunges ahead for a Kean 1st down. So they still trail 17-7, but with 6:13 to go in the 3rd quarter, they are on the move.
Yeah, he sort of disappeared there amongst those big bodies on both sides of the ball. And there's big enough guys that that's a lot of space. He sort of disappeared and then popped out like a couple seconds later.
Chun, after it looked like he gets nothing, got about 5 on the play. Offset I once again, 1 receiver. D'Ambrisi play action on 1st down. He's going deep over the middle. Sean Atkins, the fullback, is open. He was out. I checked that. He was out in the pattern. Wasn't quite wide open. Dominique Dixon had the coverage, but how about that for mixing it up? Sending the big 250-pounder downfield.
And I thought Dixon got a hand on Atkins. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag there. I definitely, I don't know if we're going to get a replay here, but there definitely was some contact before the pass got there. Again, good protection by the Kean offensive line.
And a great arm shown off by DM Breezy. You can see, the kind of potential he has as he cuts down on the mistakes, and he has after that first quarter. Pitch to Chun on 2nd and 10, nowhere to go. And the man in the middle of the action again is Dominique Dixon. We just saw him make the tackle. Let's see if maybe Dixon makes some contact with Atkins as he was going downfield for that long first down pass. Well, I thought we were going to see it. Here it is.
And good protection. A lot of time. Yeah, oh, definitely. Definitely.
Well, they may have missed one there. And so Kean facing another third down. They've converted 2 out of 3 here in the second half after making just 2 out of 6 in the first half. 3rd and 9 from their own 45-yard line. DM Breezy drops, rolling out. Patient with the ball. Now he has to throw it with Cornell Hunter in pursuit. Felton makes the catch, but we have a flag. Felton will pick up only about 4 yards when he needed 9.
Let's see what the call is here.
I said Felton had to come back for the ball. It was a great effort by DM Breezy to get it away.
Yeah, he held on to that ball as long as he could, waiting for somebody to get open.
Penalties pretty even. This one goes against Kean. That's the 4th one assessed to the Cougars today. It does come at a costly time, but again, that's been a problem area for the Cougars so far. I think today, to only be down 10, they've kept the penalties in check.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't going to pick up the first down anyway on that play, so let's see if they're going to replay the down or decline the penalty.
I would think, given the situation, Montclair State might want to decline, make it 4th down. With the lead, why give the other opponents extra offensive chances? Here's our official. Actually, it's an illegal man downfield. And it is declined. Would have been a 5-yard penalty. Instead, they'll take away the down, and Suzo will be in for his 2nd punt of the day. And how about this? We didn't see either team punt in the first half.
No, we've already seen, 3 straight here. And Kean has a good chance now to pin Montclair deep in its own territory.
We've got 4:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. And on 4th and 4, they do just get the punt away. McGrady came in and almost got it. And it's finally touched down at the 29-yard line. The Cougars cover it up. Alex Cade stops it. And it was not a long punt. It only went 19 yards. But again, good job by Suzo of getting it away before the coverage got there.
Yeah, the Montclair special team player was right on top of him. I don't know if he had if he was able to adjust, and that's why it was sort of like a pop-up.
McGrady has 10 passes defensed on the year to lead the Red Hawks. He almost got a blocked punt there. At any rate, Montclair State will have his 2nd drive of the second half. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Red Hawks leading 17-7. Bliss again for his 24th carry of the day, and we're only in the 3rd quarter. Not only that, he's not even close to 100 yards yet. He's only up to about 72.
And he's getting him. He started as a 3-yard cloud of dust. Now I'd say maybe it's a 1.5 yards in a cloud of dust.
I mean, if nothing else, Montclair State is doing what they want and controlling the ball. And when you got a 10-point lead, that's not necessarily a bad strategy, but looks like they may try and pick up a few more yards here on 2nd down. They will go to the shotgun. It's 2nd and 9 for the freshman quarterback, Tom Fisher. We're under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Fisher looks, fakes to the right, now has to roll away from the pressure from Butler, who chases him, and Fisher throws it away. He was outside the pocket, so I don't think it'll be a grounding.
Again, that's what you want to do. The Kean defense wants to do. You want to force him against his body, roll out, throw it away is better than, a completion or giving it off to Bliss. So, again, you're looking at 3rd and long here. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it on the ground.
Fisher feeling the heat there. He is a 3-time NJAC Offensive Rookie of the Week. Won the award 2 weeks ago after Montclair State picked up a 38-14 win at Western Connecticut. The Red Hawks coming in having won 4 straight overall. But again, 2-2 against Kean in their last 4 meetings. Bliss, handoff, straight ahead, and stopped by number 57, Matt Donahue. He's made a couple plays today.
I don't think they were fooling anybody there. I think the Kean defense definitely knew it was going to be an inside draw.
So it will be 4th down, and Troy Seibert, the junior from Hillsborough, is in to punt for the 2nd time today. George Williams, number 18, one of the 12 seniors, running onto the field. And let's see if maybe Williams and company go after this kick. We have 3:08 to play, 3rd quarter. That's the fullback Scott barking out signals, and they do go after it. Isdale couldn't quite get there, though. And this punt will wobble out of bounds at the Kean 37-yard line. A punt of 33 yards.
Kean's going to get the ball in good field position. Let's see if they can keep things going. I think they got to stay with that game plan of spreading it out a little bit, and try and take advantage of Dukes and Chun when they can.
Dan Garrett looking for his 19th win in 3 years here as head coach. As we said at the top of the program, he is a Montclair State grad, played linebacker for the Red Hawks from 93 to 97, stayed on as a defensive assistant to longtime head coach Rick Giancola, and now here on his own, he has a 1-1 record against his longtime mentor. On 1st and 10, D'Ambrisi tries to throw, gets away from Merkel, and is able to throw a pass in the direction of Chun. It's incomplete, but more importantly, Kean avoids a big disaster.
Yeah, good heads-up play there. Again, all they have to do, they don't have to try and get the 10 points back on one play. Just keep moving the ball. If they can get in field goal position on this drive, take a shot there.
Well, one of the best games we've ever done here on KUTV. Last year, homecoming against Rowan. Kean against another good opponent at the top of the NJAC standings. Was actually down 14 going into the 4th quarter. They got it all back, forced overtime, and walked off with a victory. Here, 2:49 left, 3rd quarter. Kean is down 17-7. 2nd and 10 from their own 37. Swing pass out to Dukes. Gets up past the 40. Able to drag a tackler past the 45, and now they'll spot him right there, so he's still 2 yards short of the 1st down.
Boy, and Drew almost got a hand on that pass as well.
Yeah, Drew, for a defensive lineman, has quite a few pass breakups this year. And not something you would expect to see. Drew, the 6'2 senior out of Hewitt, went to West Milford High School. A lot of North Jersey names on this Montclair State roster, and that's part of the rivalry too. Both these schools, they don't recruit exactly the same area. Maybe Montclair State's a little bit closer to William Patterson, but again, that North Jersey area has produced a lot of good players, but right now the Cougars need to take a timeout. They don't like what they saw lining up for this 3rd down and 1, and so with 2:01 remaining 3rd quarter, we will take a break with them. The home Kean Cougars trailing 17-7 against Montclair State here on Senior Day on KUTV.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that drinks from the stream, that hugs the mountain, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that toils at the job, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand, that sows the seed.
All life is woven together. How can we choose which environmental cause to support? Earthshare, the workplace giving program, makes it simple by bringing the leading environmental groups together under one umbrella. Support Earthshare, and you support them all, including the hands that sow the seeds and protect the forests and the streams and the children. To learn more, please visit our website.
When you talk to your kids about drugs, start with the ones in your medicine cabinet. Learn how at drugfree.org.
Attempting to rally from 10 points down, the Kean Cougars face a 3rd down and 1 from their own 46-yard line against number 19 Montclair State here in the late stages of the 3rd quarter. D'Ambrisi hands off to Sean Atkins, and he just plows over people and picks up Enough yardage for the first down. He needed one, and he got 3.
Yeah, he's a big man to try and stop there.
That was an old Leroy Hort. If you remember the old fullback, he used to play for the Browns, a little bit for the Vikings. Used to say, if you need 1 yard, I'll get you 3. If you need 5 yards, I'll get you 3. That's a classic 3 yards per carry. And there, Atkins was the one playing the role of Leroy Hort, getting the Cougars another first down. And now the officials need to reset the play clock. And so with 1:53 to go in the third quarter, Kean trailing by 10. But again, they're chipping away with the yardage at least, trying to get back into it. D'Ambrisi throws left side. This is complete to Felton, and he will pick up 5 yards getting into Montclair State territory.
But D'Ambrisi had to be a little bit careful here because they're starting to sit on those routes. You know, it may not be a bad time to do a little pump and go here.
And, of course, both teams saw what can happen if you're not throwing the ball in the right place.
Right.
Chris Lauda making that interception return for touchdown for the Cougars' only score late in the first half. Now 2nd and 5 from the Montclair State 46.
Because McLean came up in a hurry there.
And there's a play fake. D'Ambrisi will throw for Atkins again, and he gets popped by Brian Tweer.
Wow. Wow, we heard
Junior
that
out
up
of
here.
Butler, and he is a hard hitter.
That was helmet on helmet there.
That's a little dangerous, too. You got to be careful where you hit him. D'Ambrisi throwing on the run, and maybe that's why the ball fluttered a little bit. But, ooh, yeah, Tweer leading with the helmet a little bit. At least that's what it looked like from up here.
Yeah, I just think the way that Atkins sort of turned into that.
Again, so many factors go into it. I
Yeah.
mean, he had to turn around for the pass because it was a bit wobbly, but it was only wobbly because of the pressure by the Montclair State defensive line. But now on 3rd and 5, D'Ambrisi does have time. He's going deep. The man down the sideline is Derek Harris, and it goes off his hands. Wouldn't have been an easy catch, but I think Harris did have his hands on it, and it will bring up a 4th down and 5.
Well, he was streaking down the sidelines. Again, good job. This offensive line, this Kean offensive line, did a good job giving D'Ambrisi time to look downfield.
Harris nearly coming up with his 8th catch of the year, and you know what? The defensive back right there, Schenker, got his hands up. Look, I don't know if that kind of distracted Harris at all, but the ball did hit him in the hands. That's the bottom line. So 4th down and 5. Souzo will be in to punt, and actually Montclair State will back off on this one. Try for some coverage, and Schenker is the return man from his own 5-yard line. And he has a lane. Gets out to the 25. Lost the ball. There's a scrum for it at the bottom of the pile. Montclair State seems confident they have recovered. It is a 41-yard punt. And 20 yards on the return. The receiver, Dan Keegan, able to pull it out of the bottom of the pile. Montclair State will retain possession with 42 seconds to go in the third quarter and a 10-point lead.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but it looked like he held up. He had an open lane and sort of like redirected himself back into coverage.
Maybe he thought there was too much room and he was worried that someone was going to come flying out of nowhere. One of those deals. But for Montclair State, 1st down and 10 from their own 26-yard line.
You know, and Kean has been, going back to that drop pass, they've been right there. There's been a lot of...
It's DeAndrea trying the right side now. Jeff Bliss will get a breather after carrying 25 times in the first 3 quarters alone. Bliss has the 2 Montclair State touchdowns, but he has been slowed up a bit by this Cougar defense there. Kean stops DeAndrea after a gain of 4.
I mean, that 10-point lead is a little deceptive right now because, like I said, Kean has been right there offensively. They've been able to move the ball. They've had they had a couple stops. They were stopped a couple times deep in Montclair territory. So we'll see what the fourth quarter shapes up to look like here.
Time has run out on the third quarter, and Kean hangs in there, holds Montclair State and their offense in check in the third. But as we head to the fourth, the visiting Redhawks still have a 17-7 lead on the line, possibly a bid to the NCAA tournament at stake for Montclair State if they could get in at large. Kean still looking for an ECAC bowl. We'll see if maybe they can come back and try and get one as we start the fourth quarter. 17-7 Montclair State, end of the third on KU TV.
Hey, Lena, where's yours?
Following the tragic events of September 11th, there have been hundreds of violent attacks against innocent Americans.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for. Remember, please stop the hate.
We're stronger when we are united.
Remember.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for. One nation,
Under God.
Indivisible.
with liberty.
And justice.
For all.
In America, there's either room for everyone, or it's not America.
Don't pick the wrong fight.
Let's keep America land of the free.
Stop the hate.
Right now, wherever you are, design is influencing how you see the world. It's all about vision. It's not just what you see, it's how you see it. Then it's how you tell the story. I'm Erin Smith, graphic designer and Kean graduate. Today, I'm telling the world stories from my perspective.
First play of the fourth quarter will be a 2nd and 6 for Montclair State from its own 30. Split receivers. One back is DeAndrea. The Union native gets 2 yards on that play, but it will bring up a 3rd down for the Redhawks, who have a 10-point lead as we're in the final quarter of play.
I mean, right now it looks like the strategy, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down, but so far the strategy from Montclair is just to keep it on the ground and, protect that 10-point lead.
Montclair State on 3rd downs today is 5 out of 9. Most of those conversions came in the first half. The freshman quarterback, Tom Fisher, has been efficient, has thrown a couple interceptions, one return for a touchdown. Here on 3rd and 4, throws a little short to Papson, and he is not able to scoop it off the turf. Incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. Papson out is back to us up here in the booth, and I thought for a second he might have had it.
I thought so too. I thought he dug it out, but fortunately he didn't. And Dukes is going to get a chance here to maybe make something happen on the return.
Yeah, and the man who averages 13.5 yards every time he touches the ball. That's all-purpose yards between the rushing and the receiving and all the kick returning he's done this year. Now punt returning in this game. Seibert, his 3rd punt of the day. It's a good one, and Dukes has to call for a fair catch. It's his own 30, dropped the ball, able to pick it back up again, and then runs with it, and I believe they're going to mark it dead where he picked the ball up. Because of the fair catch signal, can't really advance the ball, and so it is dead at the Montclair State, check that, at the Kean 27-yard line. Cougars offense will take the field once again. Corey, we said it before, they cut down on the turnovers, and good things have happened. They've been able to stop Montclair State, but now they're going to need some scores to creep closer.
Yeah, like I said, they have to go from being almost there to there. I mean, they've had a couple, balls just on the fingertips. They've got to execute.
After the 31-yard punt by Seibert, 41-yard punt, it's a 1st and 10 for Kean from their own 27, and the handoff goes up the middle to Chris Aquino. His first carry of the day.
I'd like to, start to see the Kean offense kind of play a little bit of urgency here.
We still have 13:39 to go in the fourth quarter, but scoring has not come easy for the Kean offense. Their lone touchdown, courtesy of the defense of Chris Lauda, 40-yard interception return. He had an 80-yard pick six last year against Montclair State. D'Ambrisi pumps, fakes, and Haynes makes the catch after a bobble, catches it at the 45, and then falls forward for a gain of about 3 more yards.
Yeah, like that bobble sort of froze the defenders, too, there for a moment.
It'll be on second down. It will be a pickup of 17 yards.
He was fortunate there. The defender sort of overran the tackle and gave him a chance to, regroup.
1st and 10 Cougars from their own 48, and a trick formation. 3 receivers bunched out to either side. Breezy takes the snap. He's got receivers running all over the field. And coming back to make the catch is Dukes along the sideline. Did he get his feet in? Yes, it's a pass completion. A wacky formation. They had enough men on the line of scrimmage for it to be legal, and the pass is complete to Dukes down to the Montclair State 36-yard line, so it is a gain of 18.
I'll tell you what, Breezy better give a special thank you in the huddle right now to Shabazz Green, because Shabazz Green came out of nowhere to pick up the blitz.
And Shabazz was the only lineman directly in front of Breezy on that formation. 1st down and 10 Cougars from the Montclair State 36. Now Dukes will touch the ball again, this time on a sweep on the handoff to the wide receiver, and Dukes gets 6 yards down to the Montclair State 30-yard line. Dukes, the senior, playing his final game, already has 9 receptions. And he's run it a few times as well, 4 carries. He added those 6 yards. He only has about 10, but getting the ball to their playmakers.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I'd say, Kean, 2nd down, I think they're in 4-down territory here. At this point, I don't think, they're in field goal range yet.
2nd and 4 from the Montclair State 30. Breezy shotgun, fakes to Chun, pumps, looks, goes back to Dukes along the far sideline, and that deep out and come back for the ball works for 10 more yards and a 1st down.
I mean, Dukes and McGrady have been dueling all game today. For a moment there, I thought he was going to go to, I thought Breezy would go to Cade there on the rollout.
And a good job, good arm strength, just getting that ball there. McGrady keeps Dukes from picking up any more. 10th catch of the day for Dukes. He already has a single game record with 14. We saw that against SUNY Cortland. Now Dukes makes his 11th catch down inside the 5. It's a pickup of 17 yards, and it will be 1st and goal from the 3.
You can feel the momentum here right now.
The Kean crowd is certainly getting back into it. Their team's still down 10, but on the move with 11:18 to go in the 4th quarter. 2 years ago, when Montclair State came down here at Alumni Stadium, Kean trailed going into the 4th quarter, scored 12 points, and pulled out a 19-13 win. They trail 17-7 now, empty backfield, fake handoff, and Breezy's going to keep it himself on the naked bootleg. He faked the jet sweep to Dukes. Breezy carries in from 3 yards out, and the Cougars are an extra point away from making this a field goal game with 11:02 to play.
Again, it's another example of Kean breaking their tendencies there. How many times have we seen this season where you'd see that jet sweep to Dukes or to Felton? Everybody fooled on that one.
And on to add the extra point is Rick Jager. This will be an important one because it gets him to within 3, and Jager nails it. So after falling behind 17-0 early in the 2nd quarter, the Cougars have crept closer. Their final regular season home game of the year. It is senior day, and it is the Cougars who now trail 17-14. We'll take a timeout and be back with the ensuing kickoff here on KUTV.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me 11 bucks. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. Feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
This is Mommy's bed. Me and Jenny were jumping on it. Mommy's gun fell on the floor. I was a cowboy. Bang, 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 bang. I said, Jenny, wake up, wake up. It's just pretend. But she wouldn't wake up.
Choose to help a loved one struggling with drugs or alcohol. It could change everything.
Kean freshman Tom D'Ambrisi shaking off some early turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter, but now in the fourth quarter, he has his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And there you see maybe some bad news for the Kean defense. His leading tackler, Victor Dorigo, the sophomore linebacker, getting patched up on the sidelines. And so the Cougars, as they get set to go back on defense, we'll see what they do without Dorigo in there. D'Ambrisi's all kinds of fired up. Meanwhile, back to the field, Lewin fields the kick at his own 16. Has room out to the left side. Stop there. A good tackle by Justin Laguna. So it's a return of just under 20 yards for Byron Lewin. But now the Redhawks go back on offense, having seen their once 17-point lead whittled down to 3. There you see the time and the situation. See if maybe Montclair State can gain some more yardage with Victor Dorigo, the linebacker's left arm wrapped up in ice. It will be 1st down and 10 for Montclair State from their own 37-yard line. Dorigo, 5 tackles in the first half. That's what you've come to expect from the sophomore linebacker. Now Fisher on the rollout. There's a flag, and there's an interception downfield. Jamal Williams from his own 35-yard line on the return. Big hit. And he is taken down by Papson, but not until after he crosses midfield. Now we'll see who the flag is on.
I think it might be. I think it should be a hold against Montclair.
If it is, 4th turnover of the day for the Redhawks, and now Kean will really have something cooking. It is a hold on Montclair. Cougars ball. 17-yard interception return for Jamal Williams. He was the NJAC Defensive Rookie of the Week 2 weeks ago after the Cougars lost to Rowan, in which he had just an outstanding effort. Had about 13 tackles in that game. And Williams, the freshman from Passaic, saying hello to the folks back in Passaic County. And now we'll sit and watch as his offense takes over from the Montclair State 49-yard line. Kean down by a field goal. We got 10:42 to go in the game.
So Kean has done it all season long. They've been a second-half team.
Especially in the fourth quarter. We'll get you those numbers as Chun takes the delayed handoff, gets 2, lost the ball. And I think Darrell Dukes may have covered it up. What a play by Dukes. Chun's momentum was stopped at the 47-yard line. We'll take another look at the interception. We were talking about it. Kean has outscored its opponents 121-71 in the fourth quarter, and thanks to this pick by Jamal Williams, they're hoping to get some more offense after having scored a touchdown to pull to within 3.
They did a good job forcing the rookie quarterback to make a poor throw into coverage.
2nd and 8 from the Montclair State 47-yard line. Laundry on the field, but a pass complete to Alex Cade, who's out of bounds, down to the 27. It will be a 20-yard completion if it stands. Let's see who the flag is against. All of a sudden, penalty starting to hurt Montclair State. And this one is offside. You know what? I was going to say penalties are hurting them. Kean keeps declining the penalties because they've got the momentum.
Absolutely.
First catch of the day for Cade, who's really come on recently. It's his 14th of the year. In the win over William Patterson, 4 catches for 54 yards for the junior tight end out of Galloway. And here a big 20-yard reception moves the ball all the way down to the Montclair State 27-yard line. 1st and 10 once again for Kean, who trails 14-7 with 9:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Aquino is the back. Handoff on the sweep to Dukes. Has the blocking. Gets up near the 25 before he's pushed out of bounds. And that's what Kean wants to do. Even if they can't make a big gain, just keep the ball moving forward. 2-yarder for Dukes, and it's 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, he's very patient there. He's got good vision. He's just made, it's obvious this player has made a lot of contributions over his career here.
Dukes with 11 receptions on the day, and that was his 5th carry, is a little over 15 yards, but now he'll make his 12th catch of the day and make this one count, out to the 20, down to the 15. Down to the 14-yard line is where they will spot it. A 12-yard reception for Darrell Dukes on his 12th catch of the afternoon. And now the Cougars really have something cooking. Down by a field goal, and I think, Corey, you said it best. Talk about the patience of this Kean team. They could have panicked down 17-0 early second quarter. They have not, and they are on the doorstep of possibly tying, if not taking the lead. 1st and 10 from the Montclair State 14-yard line. Gambrizi drops, throws, end zone touchdown! Alex Kean, 4th touchdown of the year, 2nd in as many games. And the Cougars have come all the way back. 17 points down with 8:47 to play. They now have a 20-17 lead on 19th ranked Montclair State with the extra point upcoming.
Boy, he was wide open on that. Just loses a seam route. That's not an easy catch to make either, because you are on a straight line with the quarterback. I mean, it's definitely the shortest distance, 2 points, but it's a great job there.
Jaeger on to add the extra point, which would pad the lead to 4, and Jaeger connects. 3 for 3 on PATs today. Alex K, 2 huge receptions on that drive, a 20-yarder to move the ball deep into Redhawks territory, and just a moment ago, a 14-yard touchdown reception that gives Kean the lead. We'll be back after this timeout. Cougars 21, Redhawks 17. 4th quarter action here on KUTV.
Suffolk County 911.
I need help.
Where are you at?
Well, ma'am, I don't know exactly, but I'm
I don't
freezing, and my girlfriend's here freezing.
Mike, I want to help you so bad, hon. I want to find out where you're at.
My phone's just about to die. You're my last chance here. We're scared. Please help us.
To a child, a little of your time can make a lifetime of difference. That's why the Greenville Family Partnership sponsored a hike, because kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
Standing right in front of them.
Whether you're a good storyteller or a good listener, you can help. To find out about community drug prevention programs, call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Let me open that, Nana.
Every kid should be like you.
To learn more, visit drugfree.org.
The Cougars will kick off with the lead for the first time today, thanks to this touchdown pass from Tom D'Ambrisi to Alex Cade.
Well, I don't think anybody on that Montclair defense was expecting that.
Cade, 2 catches for 34 yards on that drive. Those were his first 2 of the day. He now has 15 for 258 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. Cade, the junior out of Galloway, Absegami High School graduate, getting some love from his fellow teammate D'Ambrisi. And the kickoff pushes Lewin and DeAndrea back inside their own 10. DeAndrea will take it and slips a tackle from Bujari before getting out to the 25-yard line, where a host of Cougars come in to finish him off. Justin Laguna among those making the tackle. And now the way the Kean defense has been playing, you got to think Montclair State's got to start to feel a little tight.
Yeah, like we said, it's whoever has the momentum and holds on to the ball here is going to come out ahead.
But again, something we have to mention, you know, Montclair State's been grinding it out all day. Jeff Bliss, the running back, 2 touchdowns, but he has 25 carries and under 80 yards. We haven't seen them attempt big plays. Now let's see what happens, see if maybe they do. Here's a formation that looks like it might be threatening. 5 wide receivers, And the receivers on the far side of the field started to play a bit too early.
Yeah, they've had a problem with these motion, going to motion here on the offense.
It was first down and 10 from the Montclair State 26. Now it will be first and 15 after an illegal procedure. The receivers taking off before the ball was snapped.
I think we're starting to see maybe what the game would have looked like, had there not been those 3 first-half turnovers here.
3 turnovers for both teams on the day. Actually 4 now for Montclair State, who's trying to keep it on offense. Completion to Sevilla. And Butler actually out there wide, making the play. Sevilla catching the pass from Fisher for a 6-yard gain. Gets about back to the original line of scrimmage. And the penalties really starting to pile up for Montclair State. That was their 6th of the day.
Again, you keep them in if they can contain him here on second down, force another 3rd and long, Montclair will be playing into Kean's hands.
5 wide again. Fisher drops. Kean bringing the pressure. Fisher lofts a wobbler out to Lewin, who makes the catch wide open. Making some moves, cuts back to the 40, onto the 50. Lauda trying to drag him down by the jersey. I think Lewin's still in bounds, and he's finally stopped by Jamal Williams. And on top of that, Lewin looking for a face mask.
Yeah, he's not going to get that, but he definitely does a great job of keeping that play alive. And that was really, in my mind, a score-saving tackle right there.
And let's take another look at this 34-yard pass completion. That was the thing that we had to say was, you know what? Yeah, Montclair State hasn't made any big plays. They haven't tried to make any big plays.
No.
All of a sudden, they've gone from the grinded-out team to a wide-open 5-receiver look. Shotgun again for Fisher on first down from the Kean 40, and that one was a sinker ball. I think Montclair State baseball coach would have liked that one, as it is incomplete. We'll bring up second down and 10.
Kean's doing a good job. The D-line's doing a good job of putting pressure on Fisher. They can keep that up. I think they can force another mistake.
Under 7.5 to play. When these two teams met 2 years ago, right here in Union, Kean trailed 13-7 going in the fourth quarter, ended up winning 19-13. Here, they trailed 17-7 going to the fourth quarter. They've scored a pair of touchdowns, one on a Tom D'Ambrisi run, another on a pass to Alex Cade. They have the lead now, trying to play defense on Fisher, who uncorks a deep one for the end zone. 3 guys are down there, Ginyard and Lauda on defense. Lewin, again, looking for a flag, but check that. That was Jamal Williams back there. That was pretty clean defense.
Yeah, that was clean defense. I mean, everybody had good position to make the catch.
So third down and 10 now, Montclair State. They're on the Kean 40, and even though they have an excellent kicker, Marco Capozzoli, who's the reigning NJAC Special Teams Player of the Week, this is even outside of his range, and so I think if they can't pick it up here, we may start seeing some fourth down tries. But it is a 3rd and 10, 7:16 to go in the ball game, and we have a timeout on the field, and it will be taken by Montclair State. It's the Cougars 21 and Montclair State 17. The 19th ranked Redhawks will have a 3rd and 10 when we come back from this timeout here on KU TV.
It's inspirational to me to be a part of a community dedicated to providing students with the opportunity to achieve more in their future lives. When they told me they were going to put my name on Kean's new recital hall, where world-class musicians will be performing, I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I just hope they don't find out I can't carry a tune. I'm Gene Enlow, Chairman of the Board of Trustees at Kean, and a passionate supporter of the campaign to transform lives. I hope you will join me in that campaign.
Every week we return all our cans and bottles. Yeah, we help to reduce the world's waste.
But aluminum?
It's like gold. Oh, yeah.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more environmentally friendly tips, go to getgreen.com.
Ooh, there's a bottle. Where? Right over there. To your left. To your left. There you go. You got it.
The Montclair State Redhawks facing a 3rd down and 10, all of a sudden trailing by 4 points against the Kean Cougars, who have rallied from 17 down. Freshman quarterback Tom Fisher trying to make a play out of the shotgun. Kean brings the pressure, and it whizzes past Lauda. Don't think it would have had a chance to maybe pick it off, but the Cougars will take it because it is incomplete. 4th down and 10.
I think Montclair's going to stay. They're going to keep Fisher on the field here. They're going to go for it.
And this will be their first 4th down try of the game on the season. 8 out of 14.
If I'm the Kean defense, I would think you would drop some guys here, not try and bring the house like they did on the previous play.
We've got 7:11 to play. Kean trying to hang on to a 4-point lead. From the shotgun, pressure again on Fisher, lobs it down the middle, over the head of his tight end, Mercer. And it's a turnover on downs. Kean will get the ball back on their own 40. Mercer, who caught a touchdown in a win over Rowan last week, I think he would have needed to be 2 or 3 feet taller for that one.
That was a hell of an effort right there.
Well, let's take a look at what kind of effort Jeremy Mercer, the senior tight end from Leonardo, made. Leonardo sounds familiar. It's obviously where they filmed Clerks, and I think if you were going to make a film about that play, that would be more like Clocks, because he got clocked by Jamal Williams. 1st down and 10, Cougars from their own 40. They have the ball in a 4-point lead, and a little tricky reverse inside handoff to Jared Chun. Makes some moves. Out past the 45, down near midfield. 9-yard pickup for Mr. Chun. And it will be 2nd down and 1.
I really like Coach Garrett's game calling, play calling in this half especially. Again, breaking tendencies. We've seen all day today that roll out to the right, and as soon as Montclair sort of thinks they have that figured out, come back with a nice little wrinkle there.
And one of the ironies is, look, we've talked all day about the fact that Coach Garrett used to play coach at Montclair State. There's enough irony there, but he used to be a defensive guy as well. Linebacker as a player, defensive coordinator. Now he's the one calling the plays. And defensive coordinator Keith Migliorino, well, he's going to try and keep his troops fired up there on the sidelines as the offense is back out. D'Ambrisi looking deep for Felton, and he dove for it. It started out looking like that catch that Jericho Contry made in the Jets game the other night, pinning against his helmet, but Felton didn't really have a chance at that one. It was out of his grasp. I don't think he could have pinned it against anything. Here's another look. Pretty good coverage.
Yeah, pretty good coverage.
From the defensive back, Dixon.
Not a bad call on 2nd and 1. Go deep.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, you can try and catch him off guard, and then you still got a 3rd and short, and maybe you use the big man, Sean Atkins, again. He is in there. And now we have a timeout on the field. Is it an official's timeout? No, it's one taken by Kean. By our count, this should be their first timeout of the 2nd half. We have 6:11 to play in the 4th quarter, and Kean has rallied from 17 down, 3 unanswered touchdowns. They have the lead here on Montclair State. We'll be back after this break on KUTV.
I can listen.
I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help.
You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
make your public schools so exciting, your kids won't want to come home. Find out how. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
Ball resting just shy of the midfield stripe. Kean with third down and about half a yard to go to make a first down. And if they keep the offense moving, they might be able to run out this game. And number 12, Darnell Jackson is lining up in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him, but Montclair State sniffs it out. Boy, Coach Garrett said they'd try that sneaky look, that's one of the reasons they gave him number 12, so he'd be eligible to take the handoff, but Montclair State didn't look fooled at all.
No, it looked like 12 guys tackled him on that play.
Yeah. And so, Jackson gets the handoff on the Refrigerator Perry wannabe play, and he loses 2 yards, so Kean will have to punt. Suzo is in there for the 4th time today, and now is when you have to be careful of Montclair State bringing that pressure. They backed off on the last one. You better bet they'll probably be coming after this one. Suzo has the snap and gets it away. Lewin backs up for it, but it bounces short, takes a Montclair State bounce, and the Cougars stop it from going any further. Downed by Mike Mancini at the Montclair State 26-yard line. So the Redhawks will go back to work. Number 12, Darrell Jackson, will go back to the defensive side of the ball, and not a bad strategy. But again, they had Atkins ready to go, and I thought they were just going to, after that incomplete, just bam, go there, line it up, push Atkins forward ahead. And that time they tried Atkins and Jackson in the backfield, but again, Montclair State was wise.
Well, I mean, again, there's a reason why, they're 8-1.
And there's a reason Rick Giancola has been there for 26 years and has the record that he does. Fisher throws over the middle, and pass complete to their leading receiver, Dan Keegan.
Yeah, he just got a little bit too much time there. They started to close in, but they couldn't get there soon enough.
So another 1st and 10 for the Redhawks right out of the chute. We have 5:10 to play, and Montclair State, which once led by 17, now trails by 4. 1st down and 10 from their own 43-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Fisher again. Good pressure and a sack by Darnell Butler, his 3rd of the year. And that's a big loss. It'll back him up at least 10.
Well, like we said, they almost got there the last play, able to close in and finish him off.
And Fisher pumped. Looked like he had what he wanted, but Butler, good job working around the backup tackle. Mike Sperduti is in there. He is not the starter. Sperduti has replaced the senior Jason Wambaugh. And now 2nd down and a mile for Montclair State. The ball's on their own 34. Completion to Sevilla. That'll get them back 5, but that will still make it a 3rd down and 14.
They'll see what they do. They see if they just kind of drop guys back, keep everything in front of them, or if they decide they're going to go after Fisher here.
3rd and 14, Montclair State from their own 38-yard line. 3:50 to play. Time winding down on the 19th ranked team in Division III football that once led this game by 3 scores. Down the field, the pass for Lewin just out of his grasp, and Fisher, he's got an arm, but he may have let him a bit too much there.
Well, like, good coverage there. I mean, he had to put it where he had to put it because of the coverage.
It'll come down to this, a 4th and 14, and Montclair State trots out the punting unit with 3:38 to play. Interesting move. If they can stop Kean, obviously they'll get it back, and maybe they're hoping for a turnover, but you give it away. Kean picks up a couple 1st downs, and Montclair State might not be able to stop them. They just took their 2nd timeout of the 2nd half.
They may think about it here.
Rick Giancola going to talk things over with his crew, the coach with a record of 188-84-2. Coming in, the man who also coached Dan Garrett, the Cougars head coach. Redhawks talking things over. Trailing by 4, we'll step aside and come back with the 4th down play here on KUTV.
This kid died from using illegal drugs. And this kid died from using prescription painkillers. Now you tell me, which one's more dead?
Following the tragic events of September 11th, there have been hundreds of violent attacks against innocent Americans.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
Remember, please stop the hate.
We're stronger when we are united.
Remember what that flag you're waving stands for.
One nation under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty
And justice.
For all.
in America, there's either room for everyone or it's not America. Don't pick the wrong fight.
Let's keep America land of the free.
Stop the hate.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me 11 bucks. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
They're going for it.
Montclair State elects to eschew the punt. After the timeout, they've decided, no, we are not going to kick it away. They're going to take their chances on 4th and 15 from their own 38-yard line. 5 wide receivers in the pattern, trips to the far side of the field, 2 receivers near side, and the freshman quarterback, Tom Fisher, is in the shotgun. Omar Sevilla in motion. Kean brings the pressure. Fisher throws it up for grabs. Incomplete. Andre Dozier made a diving attempt, but Kean, I don't think, wanted him to make the interception every way, because they will take over on downs at the Montclair State 38. And with just 3:31 to play.
Looked like the wide receiver maybe stopped there on the pattern. Maybe thought it was a comeback. That was definitely a fly right there.
Well, if this isn't some sort of symbolic, the sun is coming out and it's shining on the Kean Cougars, who once at the start of a game where we thought it might rain all day, trailed by 17. But now they're trying to protect a 4-point lead with 3.5 minutes to play in the game. Shun gets the carry out of the shotgun, gains 2 yards, but that will keep the clock moving, and Montclair State only has 1 timeout left.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised to see D'Ambrisi take these, count the snap count all the way down to, as close to 0 on the play clock as he can. On the play clock.
And Shun coming off the field, he doesn't look hurt, so this may just be for a breather. Chris Aquino, the junior out of Somerville, is in the backup tailback. D'Ambrisi moving up under center on 2nd down and 8 from the 36-yard line. And now D'Ambrisi back to throw. He lobs it downfield, going for more over the head, though, of Dukes. And an interesting call, yes, because it does stop the clock.
Surprising call there. Up to that play, Kean had done a really good job of mixing up the play calling, keeping that Montclair State defense off balance.
And true to form, they did pass on a 1-back set there, but it came up empty, and with 2:44 to play, the Cougars want a 1st down, but I'm sure they want some more time to tick off that clock anyway, but we'll see what they do. On this 3rd down from the Montclair State 38, D'Ambrisi from the gun has all kinds of time, and the pass battled away. I think Mario McLean got a hand on it. It was intended for Jarrell Dukes. And now an interesting call for the Cougars. Do you really want to punt from deep in Montclair State territory?
Oh, and also, too, like you said, Montclair has been coming after the punter most of the game. Again, a surprise set of calls there. They could have chewed up a little more time than what they did.
They only took about a minute off the clock. It was 3:31 when they took possession. Now 2:38 remaining, and Montclair State coming after the ball, but Suzo gets away a good kick. In fact, some backspin. Lewin fields it inside his own 10, hemmed in, surges forward for a couple extra yards, but, well, made us look kind of silly because that worked out about as good as it could have for Kean. Montclair State's backed up to their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, nice job. Souza, really an unsung hero today.
the freshman punter out of Old Bridge, and his first punting duties all year. So with 2:27 to play, Kean has rallied to score 3 unanswered touchdowns and grab a 21-17 lead on Montclair State. The last 4 times these teams have gotten together, the home team has won every game. In fact, Kean won here in 2004 by this very same score of 21-17. 2 years ago, it was 1913 Cougars. We'll see if they can hang on to the lead here in 2008. From the shotgun on 1st and 10, Fisher throws. Papson makes a one-handed grab. It looked like he expected the ball to be in front of him. It ended up behind him. Then Papson drags a bunch of tacklers for 5 extra yards.
Yeah, he pinned that to his back hip a little bit. You know, was throwing a little behind him. Did a nice job there. Look like you go no huddle here.
And you would figure they have to with the clock winding down to near 2 minutes. Fisher, the freshman, playing with poise, and they've gone exclusively 5-wide shotgun here in this fourth quarter. As soon as they've trailed, the pass is short of Lewin. Don't know if Ginyard would have been in position to make a play on it, but he was in the area.
Hey, going back to the punting situation for Kean, we may see Billy Daniels as a freshman, Suze as a freshman. We could have a punting controversy going into next season.
I'm sure that's at the top of every football fan's mind is the punting controversy that goes on in training camp. Well, you never know. I mean, Texas is pretty crazy for football, you know. I've heard them talk about some crazy things in the summer down there, even when it's baseball season. Football season in full effect here on the campus of Kean University. Home Cougars trying to hold on to a 4-point lead with 2:05 to go at Alumni Stadium. Last home game of the year for the seniors, the freshman quarterback Tom Fisher from Montclair State lobs it over the middle. That was a soft throw to Sevilla.
Boy, Kean got away with a no call there as Mercer and Richard Esdale, just collided.
Is there one of those tweeners they like to use as kind of a, nickel back or a D-back linebacker sort of person?
Yeah, and they had a collision way past, that 5 yards.
Now Kean rotating in some fresh defensive linemen. Ray Wegranek comes in for Tony Olamaju. This will be a 3rd down and 10 for Montclair State from their own 25. 5 wide again. Now Fisher's going to scramble. He's going to try and get out of bounds, and he does so after picking up the 1st down. A 12-yard scramble for Tom Fisher. His first run of the day, and someone not known for scrambling. Owing to sacks, he is minus rushing yards on the year coming in, but he picked up 12 there. And that was a clutch 12.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have just a minute 51 to play, and Kean has played some nail-biters here at home. A furious rally fell short against Cortland. And then against SUNY Brockport, a late lead, only to have Brockport come back and score the winning touchdown with 1 second left. Last week, William Patterson, a 7-point win not preserved until Victor Dorigo's last-second interception. Here, a pass breakup by Jake Pugh. The linebacker knocks it away from Sevilla to bring up 2nd down and 10 for Montclair State, and a minute 48 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that pass is a little bit behind the receiver, and Pugh able to make up the difference.
Kean looking for their 7th win of the year. That would tie their high under Coach Dan Garrett, who went 7-4 a couple years ago, led them to an ECAC Southeast bid. Kean looking for one of those again as they bring the pressure, complete to Sevilla over the middle, almost slipped a tackle. Did lose the ball, but they're going to say it was down. How about Matt Ali, the senior, playing his final regular season home game, making that ankle tackle to stop for more yardage.
Again, the Kean defense cannot go to sleep here. They've got it, not keep everything in front of you here.
This was the situation they were in against Cortland. Now a minute 30 to go. Shotgun. Fisher throws, and I think Dozier was trying to make a play on the ball, but he got there at the same time as the ball and able to knock it away from Keegan. What a play.
Nice play.
From Dozier, the sophomore.
Nice play. Way to anticipate.
2nd down and 10. Not surprising. This is a totally different Montclair State team from what we saw at the beginning of the game when it was handoff to Jeff Bliss for 4 yards each time, but I do find it a bit unusual that they've gone exclusively 5 wide as soon as they fell behind.
Yeah, and there's still time left where they wanted to use Bliss a little bit.
Second and 10 from the Kean 46. Fisher, shotgun again. 5 wide again. Over the middle, this time it's complete to Lewin, but Jordan Cagle makes the tackle, and that's short of a first down, so the clock will run. Down to a minute 17 to go.
Nice tackle there.
Kean trying to hang on to a 21-17 lead that they worked so hard to get back after being down 17 in the first half. The clock is ticking. Now a minute to play. Fisher on 3rd down and 2 from the Kean 38. Has the snap. Kean bringing big pressure and almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Markel Ginyard.
We have a flag. Well, he took a lot of time to get that play off.
We'll take another look while the officials confer about the flag. And you know what? Kean was blitzing, but not getting there. And now the penalty will go against the Cougars. You know, that's the risk when you blitz. If you don't get there, someone's going to be open.
Yeah. It looks like they go, Montclair is going a lot of quick slants.
And if I saw the official, for a second it looked like unsportsmanlike conduct, but they've only moved the ball 5 yards. So 1st down and 10 for Montclair State from the Kean 35. Fisher from the gun,
There's
under
a
pressure.
hold.
And he lobs it up to the middle of the field. It is caught by Sevilla.
I think that's going to come
back.
back.
The clock stops as they'll move the chains, but you're right. There could be a flag against the Redhawks with 46 seconds to play.
Kean did such a good job, had such a surge up the middle.
And Cagle getting some pressure from the outside as well. And it is holding. So Montclair State, who caught a break on the Kean penalty on the last play, and right there, yeah, that was Darrell Jackson breaking through the middle, and the hold called against the center, Jeremy Goldman. And honestly, Goldman was just trying to protect his quarterback. Yeah. But the freshman Fisher now facing a 1st and 20 from the Kean 45 with 46 seconds of play. They restart the clock. Montclair State down by 4. Looking for the go-ahead touchdown. Lobbed up. Interception. Interception. Matt Ali. Matt Ali, one of the 12 seniors, makes the pick. And Kean is 38 seconds away from an upset win over Montclair State.
Just great coverage here. It's an outstanding play.
Ali, the senior from Keesby, went to Woodbridge High School, makes his first interception of the year. And Montclair State has just 1 timeout left with which to stop the clock. Let's take another look at Mr. Ali's play.
Great job there in single coverage.
He took it away, I think, from Byron Lewin. And with 38 seconds to go, Ali getting tackled on the sideline as well. This is going to be one happy bunch of Cougars as they take a knee. And Montclair State will use its final timeout. However, on 2nd down, 34 seconds to go, Kean only needs to take a knee once more, so the best Montclair State can do down by 4 is hope they botch the snap. And true to form, the score holds up for another 35 seconds. Corey, the last 5 times these teams have played, the home team has won every time.
Yeah.
But more importantly for the Cougars, 2 years ago, when they had that 7-win season and went to the ECAC Southeast Bowl, they got a bid partially due to the fact that they earned a big win against Montclair State here at home. And guess what? Now they'll have 7 wins at the end of the season, meaning if they get a bowl bid, they could make it 8.
Yeah.
And that is a happy bunch of seniors. I know we're going to talk to some of them after the game. As Dean Breezy takes a final knee, Montclair State can't stop the clock. The final 30 seconds will tick off on perhaps the guttiest Kean football win of the year. Down 17 points in the first half. They turn the ball over on their first 3 possessions. But look who's laughing last. Kean comes all the way back. 3 unanswered touchdowns In the final 16 minutes and 40 seconds, Chris Lauda, an interception return touchdown. Tom D'Ambrisi, a 3-yard touchdown run, and then the game-winning touchdown pass to Alex Cade. The clock hits 0, and it's all over. Kean wins. The final score, Cougars 21 and Montclair State 17. The Cougars upset the number 19 Redhawks. Wow. Corey, I think we need to take a little bit to catch our breath here before we go talk to some of these players, and you know they're going to be fired up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like we said.
Well, we'll be back with the post-game show. We'll have plenty more commentary and interviews coming up for you here on KUTV. Final score once again, Kean 21, Montclair State 17. Post-game show coming up on KUTV.
Choose to help a loved one struggling with drugs or alcohol. It could change everything.
The triangle is one of the strongest geometrical shapes. For thousands of years, engineers and architects have used triangles to build a foundation for their building and bridges. As Carter High School's principal, I use a different kind of triangle to educate my students, one that includes student, family, and the community. Kean University has prepared me for the challenges and the rewards of developing young lives. I'm a Mount Repellette, Mr. Rep to my students. I may not be changing the world, but my students sure will.
Back here at Alumni Stadium following perhaps the Cougars' finest win of the season. It's the most recent one anyway, 21-17 over Montclair State. We've seen some thrillers here, and the seniors are a big reason why. 12 of them honored today before the game, and we're going to talk to a few of them now who made some big plays. And one of the men, Darrell Dukes. Darrell, 12 catches for 128 yards. You know, the past couple weeks, you've been going to the ground a little more, but Coach said you were going to mix it up and do anything you could to get past Montclair State. Well, what was it like getting back in the action? Not only that, being able to beat Montclair State and contribute.
It was great, man. All I wanted to do was just come out and win for me and all the rest of the seniors and the rest of the team and Coach G and all the coaches, because they all deserve it. We all deserve it. All the hard work in the summer, and it's finally paying off. We're trying to just finish the season off on a winning note, and that's basically it. So I just played my hardest for me and all my teammates and coaches.
Darrell also had 4 carries for 10 yards. You know what else, though? Coach G's first season here, he had 7 wins. Now you got 7 wins, and you got a pretty good shot on an ECAC bid. So where does the team go from here? I mean, what do you feel about this season?
I'm just glad, man. Started off good, and then towards the middle of the season, it got a little rocky, and we finishing off really good right now on a good note. We're trying to get to the ECAC, so that's big for us. And we know we needed this win right here to have a chance to go to ECAC. So I told me and all the rest of the seniors, man, just go and leave it all out on the field today because we needed this game.
Down 17-0. Was there any panic? Because there was a lot of time, and Lauda's interception really got you guys fired up.
Yeah, well, we knew that we was messing up off our own mistakes, and it happened in a couple of games before. But I was telling everybody from the beginning, don't matter how things go, we got to stay together as seniors and for everybody, because we know we needed this win right here to go to the ECAC. So I tried to make sure that everybody stay together and just try and pull it out, and that's what happened.
One more note on Darrell with the 12 catches today. You broke your own single-season record for receptions. I think the last 3 years you've broken and rebroken the record. So congratulations. Hopefully you get a few more in an ACAC game, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Darrell. After speaking with one of our offensive heroes of the game, let's talk to some of the senior defensive heroes, because there were a few in this one. We'll send it over to Corey.
All right, thanks, Greg. I'm here with Matt Ali and Jake Pugh, 2 standout seniors on defense. Matt, I mean, on that interception, great play. I mean, were you surprised at all in the call there?
No, not at all. I mean, when the ball just kind of came up in the air, I said it's either make a play or we're going to go out with a loss, you know, because they were driving down the field. And I know as a defense, once the offense has us on our heels, there's really not much we can do, you know. So I was just buckled down, trying to make a play the best as I can.
Great. Jake, I mean, you saw a lot of different things there in the first half. Again, what was the sense of the sidelines on the defense where you're down 17-0?
We knew we had a shot to come back. Games played four quarters. So we're a resilient team, man. We got a lot of heart, got a lot of fight in us, and as a defense, we needed to step up, and we did. We made plays when we had to.
Did you make any adjustments at halftime as they were running a lot off that right side with Bliss? I mean, what adjustments did you make in the second half?
To be honest, we really didn't make any adjustments. They want to get themselves in a second and short, and we kept them second and long, third and long, so it kept us to make them force them to the pass. So we just played pass defense. We went to our dime, and we made plays.
And to both of you, what's it feel like to get a win like this, on your last game as a senior?
Amazing. Can't explain even the feeling. Like, I'm exhausted, but my body doesn't know it right now.
That's it. There's no words to describe it. It's the best feeling.
Well, great job today, and good luck. And we'll see you. Hopefully, you get a bowl bid.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I will bring it up. All right, so we'll wrap things up from here at Alumni Stadium. Corey, I mean, we saw a great one. We talked about Kean being a fourth-quarter team all year. Irony maybe that 2 years ago they came back with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns and beat Montclair State right here. And maybe for Coach Dan Garrett, we didn't get a chance to talk to him, but mixed emotions beforehand about having to go up against his mentor. I'm not sure he has any mixed emotions after this one.
No, I mean, he's got to be proud of all his players today. Like you said, they really dug down deep. And like he said, this team keeps fighting no matter what the score. They keep fighting. They keep clawing their way back into the game, and they clawed their way all the way up and over into a victory.
And of course, the catalyst, Chris Lauda's 40-yard interception return just before the end of the half. Tom D'Ambrisi ran for a 3-yard touchdown early in the fourth quarter, and then late in the fourth quarter, with 4:47 to play, he threw a 14-yard touchdown pass to Alex Cade, with 8:47 to play. D'Ambrisi finishing on the day with 214 yards passing, 20 out of 37. Touchdown. He was picked off twice, but again, very resilient Kean team, because after those first 3 turnovers, on their first 3 possessions, no more turnovers. They forced 5 by the Redhawks.
Absolutely. Again, they forced a freshman quarterback into long passing situations. They're able to bring a lot of pressure and force him into some bad throws and able to capitalize on them.
So it remains to be seen as the Cougars improve to 7-3 whether or not they will get an ECAC bowl bid. We imagine they will, but for what we know now, this is our last regular season home game here on KUTV. Montclair State, meantime, they leave falling to 8-2 on the season. The Redhawks will be back next year as well, as they have a very good team. But Kean walks off with a 7-3 record today, their second straight win to close out the season here at home, and we will close out the season as well. Thanks to our entire KUTV crew. For Corey Laszlock, I'm Greg Tartaglia. A special thanks to our producer, Lou Gomez. Whether they get an ECAC bid or not through the Cougars, this is Lou's last game with us, and he's done an excellent job all year and all the years that he's been here with us. So certainly thanks to Lou, and congratulations to the Cougars, a 21-17 winner over 19th-ranked Montclair State today. The Cougars now will wait to see where they will go for an ECAC game next week. Thanks again for joining us on KUTV. The final score one more time, Kean 21, Montclair State 17. Enjoy the rest of your day on KUTV.
For over 30 years, over 900 students from a variety of majors with all levels of experience have joined Kean Dance Theater and participated in provocative and high-spirited dance works, ranging in styles from modern, jazz, Latin, funk, musical theater, hip-hop, and ballet, choreographed by faculty, alumni, guest, and student choreographers. Tonight, we celebrate 30 years of Kean Dance Theater. William Chason, dancer and choreographer, was an associate professor of physical education at Kean University. He professionally danced with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. Chason also performed with the Elio Pomari and Rod Rogers Dance Companies and the Houston Grand Opera Ballet. He made history as the first African-American to become a member of the Houston Jazz Ballet in Texas. Joining Kean University as an instructor in 1977, he founded Kean Dance Theater in 1978.
He brought the New York experience and the LA experience to Kean University, at that time Kean College. He made it happen. He brought the departments together, and that's when we had the art department combining with the phys ed department, and it was wonderful. He gave new respect to dance, and he was the reason why KDT was here.
He had the uncanny ability to shape and mold people's longings, their souls, towards loving dance.
He was really a master educator, and he was one who could bring individuals together from all walks of life.
When I got there, I really felt a sense of family, a sense of belonging.
He opened my mind. I never think in the United States I can do what I do now after I meet him.
Bill was one of those people who, I want to say he thought outside of the box, but with Bill, there wasn't even a box.
KDT established its reputation every year at the American College Dance Festival, exposing Kean student dancers to a variety of techniques and styles of choreographers from across the country and around the world.
It was just a really good time to learn new things and be with my friends and really just experience with people who are involved in dance.
Under Chaison's leadership, KDT won recognition at ACDF, garnering awards in 1982 for Reflections, choreographed by William Chaison.
It was one of the most memorable, magical moments that we ever felt. When we walked off that stage, we knew we nailed it. We knew that we had set the precedent for what Kean Dance Theater was going to be after that.
In 1983, for New Breed, choreographed by KDT alumnus J.T. Jenkins.
That was a trend-changing piece because Mr. Chaison was actually doing a lot of contemporary modern stuff, and Jay actually brought some funk into the Kean Dance Theater. So I think that was a transitional period for the Kean Dance Theater where they actually had a clearly different dance style.
And in 1988 for Rites, Rituals, and Incantations by William Chaison.
I think we were very nervous going into the competition because we were competing against a lot of schools that were performance arts based. And our school, we were just, dare I say, a dance club, but we went down there and, you know, got best in show.
When we went out to perform, people didn't know who we were, but after that second or third year, everyone, everywhere we went, knew who Kean Dance Theater was.
Later, Chaison established the William Chaison Dance Theater of New Jersey, a 12-member modern and jazz dance company comprised of professional dancers and many KDT alumni. His dream was to provide opportunities for minority choreographers and to bring dance as an art form to students in New Jersey schools. Sadly, William Chaison passed away in 1989 of lymphoma, before the company's first performance. But his legacy lived on. KDT alumna Patricia Carter Bridges led the William Chaison Dance Theater for several years, continuing the dream Chaison had for the company.
With each tendu, with each dégagé, with each passing across the floor, I hope he smiles, because I just want to be a reflection of the greatness that was in that man.
The William Chaison Award for Dance Theater is a Kean scholarship established in the name of KDT's founder. It is awarded for outstanding members of KDT to further their dance training through participation in summer dance programs.
It was an honor to receive it, knowing that not many people have received it in the past. And I used the scholarship to take a dance intensive for 3 weeks at Montclair State University.
In 1989, Luis Martinez became the new artistic director of Kean Dance Theater, having danced professionally with several companies, including the Footpath Dance Company, Ballet Hispanico, the Rod Rogers Dance Company, the Elio Pomari Dance Company, and the William Chaison Dance Theater.
Bill Chaison was very much loved and heard a lot of great things about him. I was able to get a feeling of how he worked and what he strived for, what his goals were. And they were not much different than mine in the sense of bringing dance to not only students but to the community as well, bringing all forms of dance.
Laid back compared to Bill, I would have to say, but just still looking to get the best out of people, very respectful of the individual and the individual artist.
Honoring and building upon the foundation Chason laid, Luis added more styles of music and dance, as well as more student choreography to the KDT repertoire.
They get a broader understanding of what dance is. I try to bring that to them by not only through my choreography and class, but also bringing in guest artists so that they can be exposed to other dance styles and forms.
I was used to a dance teacher that would yell at me for everything. So he's a really cool person, very patient, you know, easy to deal with.
He would always take the time out to speak to you and make you feel comfortable.
He's not conventional. He's very into rhythm.
He said creativity is constantly changing.
He flows across the stage, honestly, when he's teaching the dances. It's just a lot of fun to watch.
Many KDT alumni have found success in the dance world, dancing professionally, choreographing, and starting their own companies and schools.
Right, left, right, hip.
My favorite memory of being on stage with KDT was probably the first time I choreographed a piece and was on stage, because it was just like, you know, this is me, this is my work, this is what I've put out there. And then to see everybody enjoy it so much was amazing.
It offers such an opportunity for students that come to Kean that were in the same position that I was, that aren't sure exactly what they want to do.
They have actual technique classes. It's not just learn a dance and perform. It's a great experience. It helps you learn a lot about different styles that you might run into. We perform, you know, on stage here at Wilkins. We also did many things on campus.
Bonds and friendships, and as well as, you know, taking what you learn here and going somewhere else with it.
And learn to be creative and express themselves, you know, in the form of dance.
I still feel connected, and we are connected, and not only just to the people that I dance with and perform with through Bill Chason, but through the people that I've never even met that are performing now.
And I just hope that many girls can go through the same experience as I had, because I loved it and I miss it.
It was a great window of opportunity, and something that I'll definitely cherish for the rest of my life.
KDT is
passion, family,
artistic,
rewarding,
and, of course, dance. Kean Dance Theater has had 30 wonderful years celebrating the spirit of dance. Now is our chance to celebrate Kean Dance Theater.
Hello, I'm Dr. Donald Wheeler, Director of the Center for Global Studies and a faculty member in sociology. And I want to welcome all of you to a program this year called Global Warming Solutions, Everybody Included. This program is sponsored by many of the schools, the colleges at Kean University, and other programs together. It's a collaborative effort to try to raise awareness on the campus of global warming as an important issue and focus on solutions.
And we face, as humanity, a problem, a crisis that we need to address now, and yet we are still so divided as human beings. I see women's studies as having something to contribute here in finding ways to help contribute to bridging those gaps so we can come together, understand each other across these kinds of differences, and find what we have in common, our common humanity, that can lead us to solutions for this crisis that will affect all of us. We have gaps between rich and poor, between the industrialized and developing nations, men and women on all different levels, and we can bridge those gaps, and that is the way we will be able to solve this crisis, this climate crisis.
The Earth's atmosphere contains a number of gases that are there to keep the planet warm. One of those gases, carbon dioxide, is also a byproduct of burning fossil fuels. Scientists around the world believe that the Earth's temperature today is warmer now than it was 100 years ago. And we know that carbon dioxide is a principal gas that warms the planet, one of the greenhouse gases. Here at Kean University, we're taking global warming seriously. We want our students to be not only adept and leaders in their fields, but also to be well-versed across many disciplines to tackle this very challenging problem that faces not just this country, but the entire world.
I'm Jessie Damiano. I'm a junior here at Kean University, and I'm the president of Kean's Focus Club. We represent students for the attainment of climate and university solutions. Our main goal is to raise awareness about global warming and actually get out and do something about it. So we're encouraging all students, faculty, your friends, everybody to get involved. We're going to have a bunch of fun activities this year. So please check us out at our website, or you can also get in touch with me through Facebook. We have a Facebook club called Kean University Focus the Nation. So get out there, get involved, and get a hold of us.
When we're dealing with global warming and issues on the global scale, it's very important to work in your own backyard and to look at the neighborhood and say, well, what are the areas here that could work to sequester or hold on to the carbon instead of lose it? And so that's what restoration and conservation does, is that it tries to make sure that those green spaces that do remain are preserved, and then try to build on areas that have been degraded and try to restore those areas so that they can continue to harbor plants and animals that could house biodiversity and confront global warming issues.
Hi, my name is Michael Toomey. I'm operating engineer 1. Run the boiler room in the cogen plant. And this is my boss, Joe Gasparo.
I'm Joe Gasparo, assistant engineer in charge of maintenance. This is our cogen plant. What it does is we have one source of energy coming in, it's gas-fired, and we have two sources of, one source of fuel coming in, we have two sources of energy going out. It produces electricity, and we have steam that creates steam for the rest of the campus that we use for the absorption units and for heating water and for heating the buildings. We supply about, roughly when it's running, about 1/3 of the electricity for the campus.
Throughout this year, there will be programs every month that will engage students and faculty in facing one of the major global issues that we will face in our lifetime and actually for the rest of humanity's experience if we can become successful.